play and call it work.
Hello everybody and welcome to First Impressions / review of the new Space Marine Codex. Luke and I have been super excited to get our hands on this book, and we got it yesterday.
Yeah, awesome timing. Yeah.
We've played a game already, and that is going to be uploaded right now in the MiniWarGaming Vault for you to watch with the brand new Space Marines versus the brand new Necrons. It's a 2,000 point game.
Yes, sir.
And it was awesome. I loved it.
And I played, if anyone's curious, Thought Steve played, you said Raven Guard, right?
I didn't say Raven Guard, but I did play Raven Guard. Yeah.
Right, and you had Shrike in it too. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like playing with, I used Nemesis or Zandrek with his new rules. We wanted to throw some cool new name characters there and try to show off as much of the new stuff as we could. When it comes to the Necrons and the Space Marines, the Necrons pretty much got completely reworked.
Completely, yeah.
And that's easy to cover. Now, when it comes to the Space Marines, there have been so many subtle changes.
Right.
Like, we're talking probably hundreds of changes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So every time I went through the book, I caught at least 2 more.
Yeah. And there's,
oh, I didn't notice this. Oh, I didn't notice this.
And there's so many cool takes on it, and like how they changed up how you like upgrade your characters. There's a lot to cover. This is going to be a long video.
Very.
So if you aren't interested in listening to the entire thing, you can just click on the timestamps down below. And they're going to be titled to the relevant sections as we're talking about them. Like the data sheets or the warlord traits, the chapter tactics, relics, stratagems, all that kind of stuff. That'll all be labeled down below for your listening interests and all that good stuff.
Now, unfortunately, because of COVID restrictions, we have to sit far away from each other.
It's a little bit of a mess.
You are going to see our mess, and you will see me taking notes, which you normally wouldn't see, as we try to create the timestamps for you guys. You can skip ahead to where you want to be. But the first thing I want to talk about is the layout of these new books.
Oh my god.
Okay, I've never been happier.
They're so good. There's literally page reference numbers everywhere. They even threw in the glossary in the back, rules references, and it's just like they give you like the bullet point. You know how like you like the core rule books, you know, they explain a rule and then here's the bullet points. They have the references, bullet points in the back, and a page reference number if you want the full in-depth rule of it as well. And it's just everywhere. War gear, page reference number, and I just couldn't be happy with it.
They nailed it.
100%.
Now, one of the worst thing about the previous generation of codices was the points value in the back of the book.
Oh, wow.
They were frustrating to make a list.
Yep.
Everybody used an app of some sort. Now they laid it out.
It's perfect.
Nice.
It's
like you see the unit, the size, the points, and then their options all in one spot.
Right there. So like before in like, you know, previous editions, you'd have your data sheet, you'd have your little rules and like, okay, here's all the war gear they can take and here's their points. That's not what the data sheet's still because they have a lot of rules to put on there. But if you go to the back of the book, just like Steve said, Scout Squad, unit start, unit max, points per model, and then here's all the relevant upgrades they can take. And here's all the points associated with that relevant upgrade, as opposed to having to go like, here's scouts, here's how they are points per model. Then you have to flip back to where the scouts were and like, okay, what can they take? Oh, they can take camo cloak, they can take a sniper rifle. Okay, now I got to go to extra war gear. I have to go to range weapons, find out what a sniper rifle is, find out what that is.
What a waste of time.
That was awful waste of time. That's why the apps are so big. But now it's just like Scout Squad, bam, all their upgrades right there.
You can very quickly
Beautiful.
pen and paper make your list now.
100%. And then you could like, you know, as FAQs or erratas come out and change the points cost, because they will eventually, right? That it's always an evolving game. You can just like pen it in right beside it if you really wanted to. And that way it's not super ugly looking anymore. And
another thing I noticed about the new books, I assume Necrons have it as well. I'm going to assume, I think it's a fair assumption, is if you're an Age of Sigmar player, you're probably very familiar with this, where you see Path to Glory rules inside every battle tome.
Yep.
In this, you got 8 pages of Crusade rules for using these Space Marines in Crusades. So I love that. I mean, if that's your thing, you have a whole new section from your Codex.
And if you are a veteran of Crusades already, or if you're not, I highly recommend checking it out. They have done a great job with the Crusade rules, really making it so every faction seems unique, right? When Crusade first came out, it was kind of like, not bland, but you knew they were going to do more with it. But now, as the Codex has come out, you're going to have really unique Crusade campaigns. And I couldn't recommend it more, especially once your own personal army's Codex comes out. If for whatever reason you're not a Space Marine player, you're like an Orc player, but you're watching this anyways to stay ahead of the curve, right?
You got to do that these days. You have to do that these days.
Right. You don't want to be tricked by an opponent, right? And to be fair, like sometimes the opponents, they don't quite know everything. This is a lot of changes. There are so many subtle changes in this book that you would not normally.
Right. I like I said, there is a game in the MiniWarGaming Vault right now that we hope that we nailed it all. I think I'm pretty confident.
Right. There's a couple of iffy things that we're going to talk about in a moment when it comes to the Space Marines and what you're allowed to use and what you're not allowed to use and all that kind of stuff.
Potential day one FAQs. No, I'll point out the fact that at the time we were recording this, there's no FAQ out available.
We're just in the dark as much as you are.
Now, however, there's a small outside chance, don't take my word on this, that maybe today is the day they got released. There's always
Right.
that. So check the website, Games Workshop community website for FAQs. But I would expect
There will be a day one FAQ
yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
And it's not game-breakingly bad. It's just clarifications.
We'll get to that when we get to that. So the first thing we're going to be talking about today is the chapter tactics and warlord traits for the newest, all the chapters. So the first chapter tactic we're going to talk about today is going to be the Dark Angels Grim Resolve. Now, I'm not picking them because they're my army.
Wait a s- Oh, I guess I got the old book open. Clearly, the Ultramarines are listed first here, but
They are actually, that's the first one listed in this book. Okay, so Dark Angels have the Grim Resolve chapter tactic. Each time a model with this tactic makes an attack, that unless that model's unit has moved this turn.
battle round. Is it turn or battle round?
Turn.
Oh, wow, that's really good.
Add one of the attack's hit rolls. Okay, so basically, don't move, +1 to hit. Now, my opinion you're gonna get on all these obviously is that would have been amazing last edition.
An eighth?
Oh,
100%. Of course, that would have been ludicrous.
Crazy good.
Yeah.
Now, it is still very, very good.
And better than it was before.
And way better than it was before. It was just reroll ones you didn't move. But I find in 9th, you often don't want to keep units static.
No, you're always moving. Especially if you're playing
But not always.
Ravenwing or whatever, right?
So yeah, this would have been amazing previous edition. It's only just really good now. And the second one they have is each time a combat attrition test is taken for a unit with this tactic, it is automatically passed. So basically, when Dark Angels fail a morale test, one model flees and you don't roll a combat attrition.
Right. So which is a better take on than what They Shall Know No Fear is, which we'll get into a little
Actually,
bit
we
later.
can't talk about that now. So basically, Dark Angels only one model ever flee.
Right, 100%. So you know how you fail a morale check, that one model flees, then you roll for combat attrition? Well, that one model that flees that's the only one that they lose.
Yeah,
They automatically pass to the...
I mean, it wasn't great before. It was honestly, it was terrible before.
Right. But now it's a lot better because of how They Shall Know No Fear works.
And They Shall Know No Fear got changed. It
Nerfed,
is
actually.
no longer, hugely nerfed. It is no longer
A reroll
morale.
Yeah.
It is now the combat attrition die is never modified beyond 1.
Right, so say you lose 6 out of your 10 intercessors, there's a good chance that that one guy is going to run. You do not get to reroll that die anymore. You're probably going to lose that one guy, and then you roll for combat attrition on the rest, but you only lose them on ones, not ones and twos.
Now, I think if they were going to take away the reroll morale for Space Marines, that it's almost needed that it's not modified, the combat attrition, because Marine squads are typically 5-man. So they're almost, if they're rolling morale, they're always going to be below half strength.
100%.
Not always, but for the most part.
In most cases. And this is where I want to touch up on my opinion on the Space Marine changes, is it's not like a heavy-handed nerf in this book at all.
No,
Not heavy-handed whatsoever. I think these are a lot of justified changes, and they were able to keep a lot of the rules that made them unique and cool. And Games Workshop, I think, was very smart and did a lot of little kind of cuts here and there that isn't going to hurt the book overall, but it will bring them in line.
Yeah.
Essentially. They Shall Know No Fear is one of many examples that you'll see throughout this video. It's a little bit worse. A lot worse? I don't know. It depends on your take on it, right? But overall, it's not going to cripple your army. Right?
I don't want Space Marines to be fearless across the board.
100%. Essentially, before they were fearless.
They will feel morale now, which is good. I think it's good.
100%. Yeah. And it just cannot be modified, which might turn out to be really good come future Codex releases. Things like maybe the Night Lords, if they come out, they have insane rules that are like,
they have something like that.
give reduce your combat attrition rolls by like 3 or like 1 per every guy nearby, or maybe it's lower your leadership and combat attrition rolls by 3. That'd be wild for the Night Lords. That'd be a great addition for them.
But to sum up the Dark Angels, their abilities went from arguably the worst chapter traits to solid. I'm happy.
They definitely needed something like that. And then we'll jump right into the Warlord trait that the Dark Angels get here as well, and then I want to throw like another random talking point. Oh no, we'll talk about that later. There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot because you reminded me of that. Okay, so they have a brilliant strategist as their one warlord trait. This is in your command phase. You select one friendly Dark Angel unit within 6 inches of this warlord until the start of your next command phase. If the tactical doctrine is active for your army, then each time a model in that unit makes an attack, the Devastator doctrine is considered to be active for that attack instead. And then the same is true for the Assault doctrine. So essentially, your warlord picks one unit within 6 inches. They use the previous doctrine, which kind of goes against the grain of what Games Workshop wanted the doctrines to do with all the erratas they did last edition.
I love it. I love it.
That's super good.
I love it.
Right. That is incredibly good because they errated out this. Used to be able to pick a unit, spend CP, and say that unit is in this doctrine.
Yeah.
But they're like, you know what? That's too powerful. We're gonna get rid of that.
Now it's just a warlord trait.
They're bringing it back for the Dark Angels. That's an excellent
I
warlord
get
trait.
2 turns of a Devastator squad in Devastator Doctrine, or 3 turns of a tactical squad in tactical.
Right.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. You could be I'm trying to think of an outstanding squad in the tactical doctrine, like Stormbolter, like
aggressors.
100% aggressors.
Yeah.
But then if they're in combat, it's a little bit better too. But yeah, you're right. Aggressors. Yeah, aggressors are a good example.
Well, okay. So with longer range for Dark Angels in the Devastator Doctrine as of right now. Turn 1, you're kind of hiding. You're not really getting shots on turn 1 that you were getting in 8th, but at least now you get a unit that really wants to use it for another turn.
100%.
So you probably get some work out of this one.
This is an excellent warlord trait.
Next up is Space Wolves. I don't know if this is good or bad. You can tell me in a minute. So each time a model with this tactic makes a melee attack, if that model's unit has made a charge move, was charged, or performed heroic interaction. You know what? For the rest of this video, I'm going to say first round of combat. For that phrasing, because we all know that phrasing.
It's the 3 steps there. Charging, was charged, heroic intervention, first round of combat.
+1 to hit.
+1 to hit.
That's the same, I remember that.
Yeah.
Now, I know this is different.
That's Hunters Unleashed.
Units with this tactic are eligible to perform heroic interventions as if they were characters.
Okay, so
Thoughts?
that is, I think, really good, and it represents the Space Wolves a little bit better than the previous one did, the whole pack tactics thing, and counterattack. They were the counterattack army, right?
Yeah.
You charge them, you're being punished for it.
Yeah, that was always scary.
Yeah. So now I think it represents it a little bit better, and you can keep your units very tightly together, and it makes your opponent second guess a lot of those charges. What it was before is all of your characters could heroically intervene up to 6, which made them a very gotcha kind of threat.
That was good.
That was really good. And you could kind of protect your characters in a way, and at the same time you had counter charge as a stratagem from Saga of the Beast, which would let you pick one of your units that would gain that same ability where they could then heroically intervene 6 inches, which is, I always found very powerful in the field.
Very good. One of the greatest stratagems, I think.
Now, if your whole army has access to heroically intervening only 3 inches, I still think that is a big boon for them.
So, did you prefer it before or the way it is now? Longer range with a stratagem or everybody with a shorter range?
I think it's going to be more impactful now.
Okay.
But I'm okay with either rule.
Nice.
I'm not upset with the change. Am I happy with it? Sure. If I'm happy with it at all, I'm happy with it for the sake of change, just for the sake of change. But I do think it's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's their warlord trait like?
Their warlord trait is gone down to Beast Slayer, which is while this warlord is within engagement range of an enemy monster or vehicle, add 1 to its attack characteristic. It's always nice to have extra attacks on your characters. Each time this warlord makes an attack against a monster or vehicle, +1 to hit and +1 to wound.
Okay.
Not bad. So you get +1 to hit monsters and vehicles, and you get an extra attack against them as well. Not bad. It's cool. I mean, it's hard to compare it to like any of the other ones because those are all maybe old or they had 6. So I think that's good. That's fine. Yes, I like it. I would take it in some cases. Yeah.
Black Templars next. I recently fell in love with them. I love the idea of them, everything about them. So they got kind of a nerf.
A little bit of a hit here. So sorry, Black Templar players. I know you're not.
They're already not the strongest, but they're still Space Marines. Okay, so they can reroll advance and charge rolls if you have this tactic. Well, it used to be you can reroll 1 or any of the dice.
Yeah.
So you have to reroll complete. It's still good.
100%.
But it's not orc good.
It's not here we go. Yeah, they essentially had here we go. And they still have the ability to ignore mortal wounds on a 5-up, which is always nice to have for the Black Templar.
It's always nice for Space Marines to ignore mortal wounds on 5-up.
But losing,
I like that.
100%. But losing that flexibility of being able to dictate which of the 2 dice or both the dice to reroll a charge kind of sucks, but whatever. It's not the worst. It's not going to cripple your army. It's just, you're going to feel it every now and then when you roll like a 6 and a 1 and you need an 8-inch charge.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
What's the warlord trait like?
Their warlord trait it's actually the exact same as Oathkeeper. Your warlord can heroically intervene up to 6 inches, and
minor nerfs to Black Templar.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Iron Hands is another one that got nerfed a little bit. Not huge, depending on who you are. Okay, so we still ignore damage on a 6+. Mm-hmm. You still count the bracketing of a vehicle at half wounds, whatever, twice as many wounds. It's fine.
Yeah, you double your wounds for your brackets. Always great.
Yeah, but they lost their 5-up Overwatch.
Right, which everyone has access to now if they can set to defend in defensible terrain. They wouldn't have worked with that anyways because this one says they Overwatch on a 5-up and set to defend is...
Only on defensible terrain though, right?
Yeah, only. So it would have been nice for them to keep that, I think. I don't think it was necessary to get rid of that, but it's whatever.
You know what? They had too many rules last edition, that's why. Well,
it's true.
Like
if you look at all of these new chapter traits and tactics, each chapter tactic just has 2 rules, right?
Yeah, that's fair. That's right.
It was kind of the same before.
Why did they have 3?
Why did they get 3? I thought that was really weird. And then there was also the stratagem they had that could allow them to Overwatch on a 4+.
Yeah.
Which was nuts. That even got, that was 1 CP, that got eroded to 2 CP, and now it's pretty much probably going to be out of here come the future. Who knows? You never know what the new supplements will bring to bear, or if they're even relevant and all that stuff. Anyways, the Iron Hand Warlord trait completely reworked. It's Adept of the Omnissiah. So at the end of your movement phase, unless this Warlord is a Tech Marine, it can repair 1 friendly Iron Hands vehicle within 1 inch of it. That vehicle model regains 1 lost wound. Each model can only be repaired once per turn. If this Warlord is a Tech Marine, it's D3 plus 1. So it's kind of, I believe they had this Warlord trait in their supplement. Now it's just in the Space Marine book here, as opposed to the old Merciless Logic one.
If you want to jump ahead or wait till we get there, we get talking about company command. I think you're gonna find that to be a little redundant or never taken. But we'll get to that when we get to that in the future. But you can jump ahead now if you like. Salamanders, another one with a bit of a nerf, minor, but it's still a nerf.
Yeah.
Each time a unit with this tactic is selected to shoot or fight, you can reroll 1 wound roll when resolving those attacks. Now,
it used to be hit roll and wound roll for shooting and fighting in Overwatch.
it's just a wound now.
Now it's just you reroll the wound roll, which is not that, it's not
still
that big
pretty good.
Yeah.
It's not just, it's not, it was better.
Yeah, I believe they showed this one off on the community a bit ago, but this one isn't that big of a hit to the army. I understand it sucks to lose stuff though.
Yeah. They still ignore the first AP, or sorry, no. They ignore AP1.
They ignore AP1. I still think that should be ignore the first level of AP.
That'd be really powerful.
It'd be really powerful.
Real powerful.
It'd be really powerful, but I'd like to see it.
Just ignoring AP1 is already really good.
Right. And their Warlord trait's the exact same, +2 strength to your Warlord.
Raven Guard got changes.
Oh, actually, I think they got nerfed, I think.
It's definitely a nerf.
They took a hit, yeah.
But it's not, it's understandable.
I forgot about that.
So when a range attack is made against a unit with this tactic, if the attacker is more than 18 inches away, the unit counts as being in light cover.
It used to be 12.
It used to be 12. But I mean, as it stands right now, it's not terrible. It's still pretty good. 6 inches, you're probably not going to run into that rapid fire and start separating your dice as much now. That was a big deal before.
That was kind of annoying.
It was frustrating.
Before, yeah.
Like half the squad's in 12, so my guys get no cover. The other half is outside of 12, so they cover. 18 is just more playable.
It's just. I find it a little awkward because typically you have, if you're running like a lot of bolt guns or aggressors or like kind of that mid-range firepower one, you're almost never going to get your chapter trait, your chapter tactic.
Yeah.
Like it won't come up a lot, which is a little sad to hear. And the stealthy trait from the successor chapters is the exact same now. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
But I think 12 was a little too good.
It was a little too good.
Yeah.
That's
so
why
18 is it's still something, but it's not. Yeah.
That's why everyone took stealthy for successor chapter.
And each time a range attack is made against an infantry unit more than 12 inches away, they count as being also in terrain.
They get the negative.
They count as being in dense cover. So
dense cover. Yeah. Okay.
So if infantry, which is the same, if infantry is in terrain and 12 inches away, -1 to hit.
Right. So, which is kind of fundamentally the same, and more than 12 away. So that I think stayed the exact same. If they were more than 12 away and they were in terrain, they get -1 to hit. Yeah. In addition to their cover they're getting. But now you only get cover for more than 18 away. So a little bit of a hit there. Again, any of these hits not going to really cripple your army. It's just going to change up how you have to play it a little bit. Now I think that one's a little rough, but Raven Guard were always a really powerful chapter to begin with. And their Warlord trait got completely, they just kind of swapped it out with the one from the supplement, Echoes of the Ravenspire. This is one where you take your Warlord off the table, and then they show up anywhere else on the table.
I love redeploying, especially in 9th edition.
Right, and that's just like throughout the game, whenever you want. That could be like a turn 5, like I need that objective back there, Warlord trait, bam, done. I think it's once per game, once per battle, yeah. And especially 9th edition, super big deal.
Yeah.
Really good Warlord trait to have.
If you need to get one more objective in turn 5 to get your max primary or whatever.
That's the Warlord trait.
Deathwatch are obviously also in this book. I shouldn't say obviously, kind of a shock, but they're all back in this book. But Deathwatch have the Xenos Hunter rule. Each time a model with this tactic makes a melee attack against Tyranids, Eldari, Orc, Necrons, or Tau Empire, reroll hit rolls of 1.
Right, and they also get to choose a battlefield roll, which they did before, and you get to reroll wound rolls of 1 against that battlefield roll.
So basically, flyers or heavy supports or elites. That's a battlefield roll.
Yeah, exactly.
They pick one of them after deploying, and then they reroll wounds of 1 against them.
Typically, it's troops at first.
Now, did I say it was melee attacks for the reroll to hit of 1? I'm not clear about that. I said it's melee attacks.
It's melee only, and I can't remember if they had that before. I'll be honest. Deathwatch.
We're not Deathwatch guys.
We're not. Josh is the Deathwatch guy. So if they didn't have that before, then that's awesome to have. but they would typically be re-rolling anyways because they'd have a Watchmaster nearby.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So I did play some Deathwatch back in 8th, but I always had characters to play.
You typically always have your rerolls nearby anyways. They have Vigilance Incarnate as their Warlord trait. If you're in your command phase, you can select one friendly Deathwatch core unit within 6 inches of this Warlord. Each time you do, select one battlefield roll until the start of your next command phase. Each time a model in that unit makes an attack against an enemy unit with that battlefield roll, reroll wound rolls of 1. Now, if they don't, I think this is supposed to be their kind of combat doctrine sort of thing.
Yeah.
In a way, but now it's kind of built into the Warlord trait. Not Warlord trait, but their chapter tactic. And they would, now this is kind of the same thing with the Dark Angels where you get to choose a different, combat doctrine to be in. That unit gets to choose a different role to be in. It has to be core, but a lot of stuff in Space Marine book is core anyways. And then we'll talk about special issue ammo later on in the video. There'll be a timestamp for that.
We have more talk about some things. I bet you there's people screaming at the screen, well, what about
this? What about that? We're going to talk about all that stuff later on.
What you're thinking about. We'll get to that. But finally, we have White Scars, Imperial Fists, Crimson Fists, Blood Angels, Flesh Terrors, and Ultramarines in here as well. They're all either the same or so minorly changed it's not worth spending time on.
Yeah, like a minor change would be White Scars don't ignore moving, firing heavy weapons anymore with their bikes because they they already
the
do
addition
that.
does it, yeah.
Right. They just wrote it. They just trimmed some of the fat off that and less wordy. Now, it's like, why did some of them get the nerfs and why did some stay the same? Well, who knows? Like maybe they were too powerful before or all that stuff. I understand why the Iron Hands didn't deserve 3 abilities. Why did they get 3 abilities, right? It was always kind of...
I love my Dark Angels that I have useful rules now.
100%. Like you never cared about it before. You'd be able to benefit it for every now and then, but this is way better. 100% better.
Way better. Yeah. Okay, next we're going to talk about company command and company layout. Just ways you're going to be structuring your army. Right after we finish with that, we'll get into all the war scrolls you guys want to hear about.
Oh yeah, there's 98 of them.
98.
So covering detachment abilities for your Space Marine armies, you get what you would expect. When you build a detachment, you gain your chapter tactic, which we just talked about. And why we didn't talk about successor chapter tactics when you build your own chapter, because they're pretty much the same. They didn't really get changed. There's a couple minor changes here and there, not even worth mentioning, other than the stealthy one, which I already mentioned earlier, going in line with the Raven Guard one. You also get objective secured, not defenders of humanity anymore, and this is also true in the Necron Codex. So it looks like they're getting rid of the special named rule that gave all of your troops objective secured.
Good.
It's just
go back to Universal.
Right. Yeah, that's a step in the right direction. Universal special rules are an excellent mechanic to have in your games. Objective secured is a rule that all your troops get as Space Marines. But you also gain another ability called Company Command, which is not a good one. But I love to see stuff like this.
I do too.
Don't worry, the Necrons got hit with this too. So if you're upset about it, you're probably going to see this in a lot of.
Well, hey, Tau got this a long time ago.
Yeah, Tau actually got this a long time ago.
Tau players, you're used to this.
So now you can actually sit back and laugh a little bit because everyone's getting hit with this bad boy. So your detachment, each detachment is only allowed to have 1 captain and 2 lieutenants in it.
That's it.
That is it.
1 captain per detachment, people.
That is it. No more spamming captains. No more spamming. Did you ever really run more than 2 LTs?
A couple of Smash captains in the list. Only 1 detachment. I was like, okay, now you can't do that.
Yeah, like 3 Smash captains. I mean, even to be fair, because of the core rule change, I think Smash captains are probably out the window anyways.
That's true. I like this little fluffy thing. Right. I like it. I really dig it.
And that's all you pretty much get for that. And then obviously you'll get your combat doctrines later on if your whole army is the same thing.
Of course.
That
hasn't changed. Combat doctrines haven't changed at all.
Exactly. We'll cover that when we get to that. But next part of one of the biggest changes is the chapter command.
Okay, I love this so much. Okay, so you can, we've seen a bit of this in Vigilus, only it's been refined. So you can take a bunch of characters, for example, a captain can be upgraded to a chapter master. Now, there's a bunch of characters who can do this. So like a chaplain go to Master of Sanctity, you need a Master of the Forge. It comes with a point increase and a power level increased.
Which is a massive change to what it was before, because in Vigilus, you spend a command point to do it.
Way better. I'd rather not spend command points, I'd rather spend points. So
100%.
To take your captain and upgrade it to a chapter master, it'll give you 40 points and 2 power. Now this, we'll explain what it does, but this is one of those things where we could see a day 1 FAQ clarifying something.
Right, so essentially how this works is they gain the keyword of chapter master,
yes,
but they use the same data sheet that they had before. So essentially, as far as we know, when you, as written here, when you upgrade a captain to a chapter master, he would still, what is that rule called, reroll ones? Do you remember what it's called? Battle rights? Not battle rights.
Rights of battle.
Oh, it is rights of battle. Okay, so it's just reverse the words. But so he's still going to have rights of battle, but in addition to that, he's going to gain a bunch of abilities.
Okay, so one of them is Chapter Master.
Yeah.
In the command phase, you select one chapter core or one chapter character, and that unit can reroll all hit rolls.
Exactly. So instead of it being the old Chapter Master aura of 6 inches, everything rerolls all hit rolls. Nada, not anymore. But we suspect he's still going to have the Rights of Battle ability that will be, and it is confirmed, it is an aura of reroll hit rolls 1. It's not pick a unit like the Necron ones are.
Now, for example, in the game that we have in the vault right now, I played Raven Guard with Chapter Master, Kevon Shrike. Now, Shrike on his War Scroll is printed aura of reroll all hits.
Right, so we're playing that
That's
as
how I played it.
Right.
No, I actually played it that way.
Oh, you did?
Wait.
I did.
I did.
Yeah,
play
we
it.
made a note.
Now, there's no way we should have made that call. It's hard to say. It's one of those things. I think maybe on day one or when especially everything is released, that will be errated to
this
probably, but we can't say for sure. Maybe because he has a name, he just gains that.
Right. Now, the one thing that I also think will be right. So I think that if you upgrade your captain to a Chapter Master, he still retains that captain keyword.
Right.
So you wouldn't be able to have a Chapter Master, like you wouldn't be able to have 2 captains, one upgraded to a Chapter Master.
Yeah.
But in this case with Mr. Shrike, he doesn't have the captain keyword anywhere, right? So that's where it's kind of weird,
So
and that's
to clarify, to make this real simple for everybody, as it stands right now, rules as written, without any ratas or put out or kind of like an FAQ put up forward. If you have a named Chapter Master like Kevon Shrike, who else is a Chapter Master? I know.
Volcanistan.
Vulcan, yep. So all these Chapter Masters have their war scrolls printed with. No, he's not a Chapter. He's a Forge Master.
He's a Forge Master.
He's a Forge Master.
Yeah,
no, you're the lore.
Sora Khan.
No,
he's not a Chapter Master either. Dang.
No. Oh, you're right. He's not.
Oh man.
Pedro Cantor.
There we go.
Okay.
we got there.
So Chapter Masters have it printed on their war scrolls. They have an aura of units within 6, the same chapter, reroll hits. Whereas if you take a captain, upgrade him to Chapter Master, he'd have an aura of reroll 1s and pick a unit to reroll all hits. But he must be core or character.
And then it also kind of covers, you can't have more than one model from the same chapter that has the same chapter command keyword. So it can't contain 2 Ultramarine Chapter Masters. You can't have 2 Salamander Chief Librarians.
Now, while the Chapter Master also gains the ability to be in an attachment with another captain. So you can take a captain, upgrade him to Chapter Master, and you can select another captain in that attachment, as long as one's the Chapter Master.
Okay, so it does clarify there.
It does say that
there.
there.
Good, perfect. So you can have your chapter, and you just can't have 2 Chapter Masters, but you can have a Chapter Master and a captain.
Which would be 2 captains technically, because they both have the captain keyword.
They would both have the captain keyword.
Whatever.
But the rule here is that...
this is wonky and weird. We expect this kind of stuff. I think it's a lot simpler than we're making it out to be. I don't think it's that big a deal.
So pretty much you can have 1 captain and 2 lieutenants. But if you upgrade a captain to a Chapter Master, you can have another captain in your list.
Yeah, all good. Okay, so if he is upgraded to a Chapter Master, he can take relics and warlord traits that are like on this data slate.
So they're essentially added to options you can take.
The warlord trait you can take for upgrading to a Chapter Master is Master of the Codex.
Right.
At the start of your command phase, if this is your warlord, your warlord's on the battlefield, a roll a die, on a 4+, you gain 1 command point. I dig it.
That's really good. That's super good. And that would be your, one command point per battle round, your limitation.
That's still a thing?
That is still a thing, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they eroded it recently to making it so stratagems don't count towards that, I believe. I think it was stratagems specifically.
Well, there was that one where you spend 1 and get D3, but you only get 1.
Exactly, yeah.
I can't remember who that is.
That's Tyranids, and there's another army that does it as well.
But also, I haven't seen another way of gaining command points in this book off the top of my head.
Ultramarine Warlord trait.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
The relic you can take for being upgraded to a Chapter Master is called the Angel Artifice. The bearer has a 2-up save and add 1 to the bearer's wound and toughness characteristics.
They just have cool Chapter Master armor.
Yep.
That's pretty much it.
Yep.
Would you take this stuff? Sure, maybe. I think the Warlord traits, the Master of the Codex would be kind of cool. But it's pretty clear cut there, and I think it's an awesome way to go about taking, obviously the Vigilus stuff won't be that relevant as time comes on. In fact, I don't even know if it's relevant anymore. When things change like this, it's hard to gauge what is still relevant and what is not relevant.
Yeah.
Or allowed to be used and not allowed to be used. But this is super clean, super easy. Your captain is now 40 points more expensive, but he's a Chapter Master now.
I suspect we're in a very short window of the dark. It'll all come
100%.
clear soon,
It'll
yeah.
all, like, day one FAQ will clarify a lot of that stuff.
So the Master of the Forge, you take a I can't think of the word.
Tech Marine?
Yeah, thank you.
You
Wow.
upgrade. Yeah, you upgrade a Tech Marine, and they gain the Master of the Forge keyword.
Okay, so you're going to gain a relic and a warlord trait if you want to make him your. Is it? Yeah, it is a warlord trait.
Yep.
Okay, first of all, each time this model repairs a model with a Blessing and the Homicide ability, instead of regaining D3 wounds, you get 3.
Flat 3.
That's what's kind of redundant with the Iron Hand one.
All right.
Why not just take a Master of the Forge if you really wanted to make that 3 wounds?
Well, it's D3 plus 1, so it's probably
D3 plus 1? Okay.
So it says with the Blessing of the Omnicide ability, it would be he would heal 4 wounds with that warlord trait.
Now, if you want to go pure Dreadnought army, this is the guy, right?
That'd be kind of cool.
His warlord trait that he can take is Chapter Dreadnoughts within 6, add 1 to strength and attacks. It's not crazy overpowered. It's not
cool,
even that
though.
great,
It's
but
cool,
it's
though.
cool.
It's super cool. I like it a lot. And then the relic is the Amoris Machina. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Yikes. A model equipped with an Omniscient Power Axe only. They get a fancier one. It is now instead plus 3 strength, minus 2 AP, flat 3 damage, and each time an attack is made with this weapon against a vehicle. If the saving throw is failed, the target suffers 1 more wound in addition to any normal. So pretty much every time they fail a save on a vehicle, they take 4 damage, 3 from the weapon, and then 1 mortal wound.
And now that we got Primaris Tech Marines, I don't want to do this. Now, we also got Master of Sanctities, which I'm probably going to play.
Yeah,
we can't go over all of these. This video will last the rest of the day for us.
You guys get the idea. There's the Master of Sanctity upgrade. There's the Chief Librarian, Chief Apothecary, Chapter Ancient, and Chapter Champion.
You will definitely see me play around with the Chief Apothecary and the Master of
Apothecary's got
Sanctity.
better. Apothecary's got better, yeah.
Apothecary Warlord.
I guess you could have an Apothecary Warlord. And if you're curious on the points, Chapter Master's 40, Master of Sanctities 25, 20 on Master of the Forge, 25 on Chief Librarian, 15 on the Apothecary, it's the cheapest one, and then 20 on the Chapter Ancient, and I guess 15 on the Chapter Champion as well.
All right, next we're going to go into the War Scrolls. We're going to go section by section, HQ troop, try to get some of the changes. We don't know if we call all the changes, but we got a bunch.
There's a ton.
After that, we'll head into stratagems, and then we'll probably talk about the future and how we see this all coming together. As we look through the character HQ data slates, there's a ton of them. Like Luka said, we have 98 data slates to go through here.
Yeah, there's 98 folks.
We're going to go through them all real briefly for the HQs. There's not a lot to say about many of them. We have the Primaris Captain is kind of all the options are there. You want what gun do you want? What you take the Relic Shield, Plasma Pistol, Power Fist. It's what you expect. Nothing big or change on the Primaris Captain.
And like the war gear, like rumors that you got from Indominus, I was reading. I don't know if you said that. They're all true, right? Plasma pistols are unmodified ones now. Power weapons are just better in general.
Yeah, for sure. Right? Every power weapon in the book.
One strength.
1 strength, yeah.
Which is super necessary because they were crap before.
Yeah. Well, that's also going to help. Well, the short you can show off for other armies as well.
Right.
But so power swords plus 1 strength, power axes plus 2, power balls plus 3 strength, same AP, same damage. This is Mastercraft is 2 damage.
Right, and then there was a lot of rumors floating around about other power weapons like Thunder Hammers and Power Fist and Chain Fist, all true. Thunder Hammer's down to 20 points, but only minus 2 AP. I seen these rumors online last night as I was reading things. Like, nice. And,
Thunder Hammer's only minus 2.
Yeah, so minus 2 AP on that, 20 points. Flat 3 damage. Power Fist is 10 points. It is flat 2 damage, minus 3 AP. Chain Fist got a nice change though. I like
Yes, actually.
Chain Fist is minus 4 AP, times 2 strength, D3 damage, flat 3 against vehicles.
Whereas the power fist is straight 2 damage.
Right.
Chain fist is still D3, but flat 3 against vehicles.
Right, and I believe it's also 10 points. It's
still minus 4, right?
Right, and then obviously their auras only work on core. There we go. I don't know if we mentioned that, but we have, we got Captain on bike in the book now.
Which is a big deal because for me and Dark Angel players, because Captain on the bike will have the Raven Wing keyword if you're playing Dark Angels, which means you have,
Apparently you never had that before?
Nope.
That you can remember?
Nope.
Like as far back as you can remember? Yeah.
You can't take a Captain on a bike with the Raven Wing keyword.
And then Primaris.
Now you can.
Lieutenants got changed a little bit. I'm pretty sure with Lieutenants the rule was you could buy up to 3 of them in 1 slot. And
2.
Was it only 2 you could buy in 1 slot? It's kind of the exact same thing. They just have it worded now. If you buy a second lieutenant, it counts as 1 slot.
So as of right now, a Captain in Terminator armor would have Deathwing keyword if you play Dark Angels. You can upgrade him to a a Dark Angels Chapter Master. Kind of break my fluff here, but whatever. All of the librarians, if you are playing Dark Angels, will gain the Deathwing keyword.
Yep.
The characters on bikes, which is I think just the captain actually. Now that I think of it.
I'm trying to find the lieutenant on bike, and I don't see one. No,
There isn't one.
There's no
However,
librarian on bike either, but there's a chaplain on
the
bike.
Primaris Lieutenant, we say differently. I watch too much American television. Lou Lieutenant. The Primaris Lieutenant can take a storm shield.
Yeah, but that's from the Indominus box.
Right.
He had the Volkite. He had the new Volkite pistol, and he had a storm shield. And storm shields are only a 4-weapon bowl now, but +1 to your saving throw.
I like it better.
But also, the captain's got a master-crafted storm shield or something, where his ignores mortal wounds on a 4-up.
It's a relic storm shield.
Relic storm shield, right?
He ignores mortal wounds on a 4-up with his.
Yeah, which is nice, super nice to have, especially on a character. But then looking at why do they get captain on bike? But they don't get Tech Marine on bike, They get Primaris Chaplain on bike, not regular Chaplain.
Which will gain the Raven Key or the Dark Angels, because there's no models for them.
Yeah, but
they don't have a model
is there a model for Captain on bike?
I think so.
Is there? I don't actually know. Maybe. It's not Primaris Captain on bike. It is just
Captain on bike.
It's just Captain on bike.
Yeah, 6 wounds though.
Yeah, well, Captain's got 5 normally.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. The Tech Marines, whether you're Primaris or otherwise,
these guys
I think are amazing.
Yeah.
They have a rule called Awaken the Machine Spirits. In your command phase, this model can awaken 1 friendly chapter vehicle within 3. Until the start of your next command phase, each time that vehicle makes a ranged attack, add 1 to the hit rolls. Each model can only be awakened once per turn.
That's huge, obviously.
Oh my, is that big?
You need a Repulsor Executioner, Repulsor, pretty much just those are the biggest ones, because there's other ones too, right? But +1 to hit with that many shots is a little sketch, I gotta say.
I need me a Primaris Tech Marine. You know how they said you're not going to need your captains back to babysit your vehicles anymore?
Right.
That's because it's the Tech Marine's job, Luka.
Which I appreciate. Believe me when I say I appreciate that. The captain should be leading from the front. 100%.
We got buffs to Tech Marines.
Yep.
Basically, everything else is the same for characters that you would expect.
Right. I'm trying to find changes here and there. The only thing I found for the litanies for chaplains is they can't chant a litany that another chaplain's already prayed for.
Okay.
There's that. But other than that, the crows.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, no, hold on. The chaplains gain Wolf Priest if you're Space Wolves. So stuff like that you would expect.
But it's kind of weird because that means the Wolf Priest was always a little different because he would also heal. He was an apothecary. The Wolf Priest was both a chaplain and apothecary for me, so I'm not too sure what that means. We're gonna figure that out later.
You know what? When a supplement comes out, I'm assuming
that's probably Space Wolf supplement comes out. They'll probably have Wolf Priest in that supplement, and then just kind of clarify that.
Extra rules and whatnot.
Stuff like that makes me a little nervous, though. Because I want to keep my cool rules I had before. Anyways, that is pretty much the gist of HQs. If you love Tech Marines, you should be a happy camper, and if you didn't have them before, probably consider getting one, or consider getting. Just get one. Okay,
I'm
get a
gonna
Tech Marine.
go buy 2.
You get 2? That's 2 HQ slots.
I have Repulsor and Repulsor Executioner.
Lame.
Troops are next.
It's troop
okay,
time.
the core of your army. Well, the true core of your army. Okay, Intercessor squads. They're the same.
Are they the same? Yeah, I guess. They're a little bit, 20 points. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the same. You know what you want them to be. Whatever. They're a good solid thing.
Am I wrong about that?
The Salt Intercessor squads, though.
Oh, yes. They got the nice. To be fair, the 19 points model. They got the points. No, not the points. They got the changes you'd expect them to get with the Codex.
Well, I don't know. I was worried they might not get it.
Oh, I was dang near certain.
Okay.
I was pretty sad. That's. I mean, obviously, we could have both been.
We
right
should
or
tell them
wrong.
what we're talking about.
Okay, yes. So they can take pretty much all the war gear options that you would hope the sergeant can take.
Yeah.
So
Power
they can
Fist,
take Power
Sword,
Fist.
Thunderslammer, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They can take all that. So your Assault Intercessor Sergeant is going to be good. Actually, very scary.
Well, just to be clear, unfortunately, you wolf guys like your axes, you get Power Fist, Power Sword, or Thunderhammer.
I would take the Thunderhammer.
There's no axe from all option.
Don't forget, Space Wolves also like Thunderhammers.
Also, supplement comes out and gives them everything else too, right?
100%.
But Hand Flamer, Plasma Pistol, Power Fist, Power Sword, Thunderhammer.
Yeah, you can kid them up real nice.
Super happy.
Yeah, that's a great change for them. I'm a little what is it that they get? Why are they?
What are you thinking?
I'm what makes Assault Intercessors better than regular Intercessors? Oh, because they have the Astartes chain.
Oh yeah, Astartes chain sword. They're
that's it. Yeah,
3 attacks per model, 4 attacks on the charge with an AP.
Because I'm trying to think, I thought they had more attacks on their profile, but they don't. It's the Astartes Chainsword that gives them the extra attack because only Intercessor Sergeants can take an Astartes Chainsword. And yes, anytime a Space Marine anywhere takes a Chainsword, it's an Astartes Chainsword now.
Buzz.
So AP1, baby.
Now, the next one is something we're probably not on the same page of.
Oh, yes.
Heavy Intercessors.
Whatever. they're good.
I like them. I like them. They're not the cheapest unit you're gonna have for troop choices.
No.
The fact that they're most expensive.
Yeah,
But
they are
I dig it.
by
I
far.
can't wait to get. Not by far. It's like 140 points for 5.
Yeah, okay, well, let's go here. Let's go to troops. We'll go to Heavy Intercessor Squad. They are 28 points a model at their base weapon, but, if you want to do the Executor Heavy Bolter, the Heavy Bolter, or the Hellstorm Bolter, we're talking plus 10 points.
Okay, so this thing is not it's not very straightforward the way they wrote this loadout. So basically, you have heavy intercessors in Gravis armor.
Yeah.
So you have that toughness 5, you have that 3 wounds, and you only have that 5-inch move. But you come stock with a what's it called?
They come with a heavy bolt rifle.
There it is. The heavy bolt rifle
Yeah.
is 36-inch range, strength 5, AP 1, rapid fire
damage.
1.
Yeah.
Rapid fire. So it's not heavy, but they can swap them all off for a.
They could do a regular heavy bolter. They could do the.
No, they can't do that.
We can't.
1 in 5 can.
1 in 5 can take a heavy. That's weird. That's weird. They can take like a true traditional heavy weapon.
So okay, to explain this, they have. It's hard to. I'll just read it
Go for it.
because it took me a couple times to read it to fully understand. I'm slow. If no model in this unit is equipped with a heavy bolter, you can take one of the following options. All the models in the unit can have their heavy bolt rifles replaced with one Hellstorm bolt rifle.
Right.
A Hellstorm bolt rifle is Assault 3, Strength 5, no AP.
It's not. I don't like that at all.
It's 30-inch range. I'm not a big fan.
It's a lot of shots. A 5-man squad has 15 shots with
Yeah.
it. That's cool.
There's Strength 5, but okay, whatever. Or all the models in the unit can have their heavy bolt rifles replaced with one Executioner bolt rifle. Now, the Executioner bolt rifle,
Super good.
42-inch range, heavy 2, Strength 5, -2, 3 damage.
It's like wild.
However, go to the back of the book. You already there? It's expensive.
It's like 10 points. It's 10 points.
So your 140-point squad turns 190 points for 5 models.
Yes.
But it's a pretty good gun.
It's a super good gun. Yeah.
Super good gun. And now for every 5 models, one heavy intercessor can exchange your heavy bolter, heavy bolt rifle with a heavy bolter. A heavy intercessor, one heavy intercessor's heavy auto bolt rifle can be replaced with one Hellstorm bolt rifle, or one heavy intercessor's heavy stalker bolt rifle can be replaced with one Executioner heavy bolter. Okay,
It's super wordy.
It's almost like this is clearly 3 different units,
Right.
all in one war scroll. So if you all have heavy bolt rifles, 1 in 5 can take this gun. If you all have Hellstorm bolt rifles, 1 in 5 can take this gun. I'm not going to go through it all. It actually hurts my head thinking about it.
Would you just take the 38 points per model Executor heavy bolter?
Okay, in my opinion, without really play testing and playing around, I don't care about all these options because there's only 2 modes I would take these guys. I would take them in with their stock heavy bolt rifle, the rapid fire 1.
Rapid fire 1.
Or I'd upgrade them all to the Executor heavy bolt rifle, which is the damage 3 one.
That's all I would do too.
And I would never upgrade one to have the heavy bolter.
No.
I would never upgrade one to have the Hellstorm heavy bolter, which is just a heavy 4, 30-inch range heavy bolter with no AP.
This is also because Steve's lazy and doesn't like to roll 2 different piles of dice.
That's fair. I dig this squad. It's not cheap,
Right.
but I like it.
I think if I had to take this squad, I would probably go for the cheapest build, the heavy bolt rifles. It's still 36-inch range. Bolter discipline's still a thing.
I hate saying stuff like this on videos because then I get a bunch of emails saying when. I plan on. I'm working on a couple projects. I'm close to be done everything. I want to do a pure Gravis army. I'm thinking Imperial Fist. It's definitely Imperial Fist. One of my squads
these
will be the 3 damage one.
Brutal.
I know 4 damage against vehicles. The tank hunter stratagem. Okay, let's not talk about that right now. I'm gonna love it. It's high turn one. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll put them on. Maybe I'll just do it Dark Angels instead. Just so I'll get 2 turns.
That way you get 2 turns. Yeah, with that.
Can't
one
hide 2 turns, can you?
Yeah. Longer range
Actually,
too. What would
that's
that be? That
actually-
would be 48-inch range on the Executor heavy bolt rifle there. So again, they are super tough. They're 3 wounds each, toughness 5.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're. But then again, you got to expect the killing power, like the Necron killing power went through the roof, right? There's a lot of weapons that are just like flat 3. Everything is like D3 damage, like flat 3 now. So maybe it's not that durable. Who knows?
Okay, so when we get to the Necron video, which is also up right now, there's a lot of flat 3 damage. I don't think I'm going to run into that much. There is going to be some. There will always be.
That could be a Necron thing, right?
There will always be things, but your job when you're playing the game is to mitigate the ability for the 3 damage weapons to hit them. Like anything in the game. You can't be upset that other armies have things that can kill you because everybody can kill everybody in this game, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, Infiltrator Squads are next. Now this one is a nice change that I think I caught it the 3rd read through this book. Actually use this unit in the game that's in the vault right now. The Helix Gauntlet is pretty cool. Once per turn, the first saving throw failed by the bear's unit, the damage characteristic for that attack is 0. So basically, once per turn,
Yeah.
you're just going to take no damage.
So as an opponent to that, you have to be smart and shoot. If you're going to shoot that squad, don't shoot like las cannons into them first. Shoot like bolt guns into them first or whatever. Ignore the
Now,
one damage.
Here's the frustrating part. When you buy the Infiltrator box,
It doesn't come with
it
anymore?
doesn't come with that bit.
Was that in Shadow?
Exactly.
It was what?
So you're going to have to convert it up.
That's kind of weird.
Now, if I'm wrong, check the comments and somebody say, oh, you also have the bit here. I can't, because the reason why I found out about this, we were doing the last Deathwatch campaign. I was like, I was going to make one of these guys. I'm like, oh, wait, there's no bit for it. So yeah, it's a cool change. I like that little infiltrator thing. Incursors are a little frustrating because their paired combat blades lost their 6 to hit is 2 hits, and instead they gained just 1 AP.
Yeah,
Which is, you want AP? Sure.
But they don't have the extra attack, eh?
They don't have the extra attack.
So the chainsword, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The chainsword is like the best of both worlds. They get the extra attack.
So the Incursor is he's the middle of the road guy. Like, he's not the best shooting troop choice, and he's not the best close combat troop choice, but he can do both.
Right.
Which is not a bad thing, but when I play Space Marines, I kind of have a job dedicated per thing. Tactical squads, basically the same. They actually lost a wound. They start off with 0.
Wait, sorry.
I was just checking if he was paying attention.
I was confirming the heavy bolt rifle if it was a considered for bolter discipline. But so I want to interrupt this a little bit because we didn't talk about Angels of Death. We talked about They Shall Know No Fear, and then everything else is the same except for Centurions do not get bolter discipline anymore.
Yes, you're right.
Yes,
I did catch that.
I was reading a little bit behind because like, does a heavy bolt rifle count as that, or like what gets heavy? I'm trying to remember what gets that. Centurions with the hurricane bolters do not always rapid fire anymore.
Yeah, we could cover that. We got heavy support, but we didn't. Whatever.
That's true. We could have talked about it when we got to Centurions. We were like, oh yeah, these guys totally got nerfed. But yeah, anyways, if you're curious about Angels of Death, all the same except for They Shall Know No Fear and Centurions don't get to rapid fire. And this is my defining trait is I always go off topic very easily. Anyways. Tactical squad at 2 wounds, right? That's where we're at, right? We're totally at tactical squads at 2 wounds, confirmed.
That's it. Done. Moving on. Tactical squad's got 2 wounds. They got it. No, they also have the melt of bombs keyword, which we'll explain that in stratagem. It's actually a pretty cool stratagem.
It is a cool stratagem. Do the other guys not get melted bombs? Is it only the
tactical squad? I actually checked. Who has the melted bombs keyword is
Assault Marines.
Assault Marines and Vanguard veterans and these guys.
And these dudes here, yeah.
But that is it for troops. What do you think of the troops?
I love the troops.
I love them.
There's maybe one missing though, you know?
Which one?
Maybe the one.
Oh yeah!
Yeah, we'll cover that.
There's one missing!
We're gonna go to elites in a second here
and figure that next.
Yeah, we'll cover that next.
Okay, elites are your elites of an elite army, right? Pretty simple.
Right, and they pretty much all have the core keyword too. No, not true. Not the single models.
There's a lot to talk about here.
Oh yeah.
Company champion, single elite character. Basic stuff. Not a whole lot to talk about here, but here's the first instance you see the combat shield.
Oh yes, Combat Shield is such a good change. I've never seen them in 8th edition. Never,
you know what? Let's forget the Combat Shield for a second.
Okay.
We'll get to that when we get to Vanguard Veterans who are also the Combat Shields. Because the champion's the champion.
I don't even... the champion, I'm so unfamiliar with the champion. I've never brought a champion before.
Well, I think to bring a champion, you want to upgrade him.
Is he like the anti-character guy who wants to go hunt characters, I think? Is that
Dark Angel's like, I want to use him numerous times. It just doesn't seem to make sense anymore in 8th edition. But... He fights first against characters.
Right. Oh, you know what? I want to do another classic Luka thing here and go over the fact that it does list non-Codex compliant Space Marine armies, which is like Grey Knights and all that. They're obviously not included in this. We don't have to worry about them. But it covers like what chapters can take certain things. Like Dark Angels can't take like Stern Guard veterans.
Yeah, Dark Angels may not take Stern Guard veterans, and I think Vanguard veterans.
Right. So for whatever, because all their veterans go into Terminator armor or Gravis armor now.
I'll try to find that real quick.
It's right before the troop section or HQ section actually, because then I wanted to touch up on the fact that people are a little confused about this one. It's the Deathwatch one. They cannot take assault squads, attack bite squads, or bike squads, devastator squads, Stern Guard veterans, or tactical squads, or scouts. Now, some of those make sense, but the bike one and the assault squad, because they take assault veterans, right? But the bike squad one's a little iffy. That's probably going to be clarified on a day one FAQ.
Yeah. Everything you see here is you pretty much get. Like the Space Wolves can't take Devastator squads because they have long things.
They have long things. They don't take assault squads because they have blood claws.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Black Templars can't take librarians.
Because they're Black
It's written here because that's their thing. That's their lore.
Yeah.
The one that I'm not quite too sure on is why Dark Angels can't take Stern Guard veterans. or Vanguard veterans. Now, there might be a reason why in the future they do have veterans in the Dark Angels. They're not always in the.
Oh, so I always thought they were just in Gravis armor or Terminator armor.
No, so it's not that big a deal. Though I did just buy 2 boxes of Stern veterans for my Dark Angels. So I'm going to leave them in the box until the future comes and gets clarified.
Fists. Not in Gravis armor.
Buddy, I'm going with Gravis armor.
All right, so we're going to go with company. The most important elite thing to talk about, obviously, is the next one on the list is the Scout Squad.
I don't know if that's the most important, but it is the most impactful thing for people like me.
Right. So I feel justified with this.
Scouts are elites. The initiates of the army, the newest, the freshest, the greenest Marines are elite choices.
I want to say this is in part because of Space Wolves, because they were trying to bring all of these units together in one codex, and their Wolf Scouts are elites because like they're the most.
No, but that's different. There's a lore reason for that.
Yeah,
the Wolf Scouts are
super
elite.
veteran. Yeah, they're super veteran elites. Yeah.
No, this I think is obvious. They moved Scouts to elite, so you would stop taking them as compulsory troop choices.
Yep.
However, I would have preferred if you left them in troop choices, but they could not be your compulsory troop choices.
Oh, so we're talking Horus Heresy now.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Because moving them to elite solves the problem, and it's real simple. I get it, but kind of breaks the flow for me. I get it.
Yeah.
Now,
I personally hated seeing Scouts as your compulsory troop choices in. Oh, I like to play 3.
I personally hated seeing Space Marine tactical troops brought as troop choices.
Tactical Marines are cool, man. Like, come on. Never have I not seen so many tactical Marines in games.
Have I not seen? Okay, Scout Sniper Rifles.
On you, Scout.
Scout Sniper Rifles are AP1.
Yeah, they got AP1, which is kind of nice. Had 2.
Okay, Apothecaries. Primaris Apothecary and Apothecary. Okay, you can heal a unit within 3 up to D3 wounds. You can't bring them all back anymore.
Right, but they have the Narthisium aura now, which is just a 6-up to ignore wounds immortal. Is
infantry and bikers.
Is it
the head of the aura?
Yes, yeah. Of 6-up to ignore wounds.
That's it. You have to be within 3 though. It's like a orc pain boy.
Yeah. You know what? That's an awesome ability to have.
Man, now you gotta buy Apothecary. Like, what are you doing to Games Workshop?
Well, they're making it so you kind of want to buy it, because what did an Apothecary do before?
How many points is a Primaris Apothecary? That's the thing, right?
80, it looks like.
Okay.
75 to 80.
Yeah, you're right. Going by the power level? Yeah. I'll do it.
75 to 85. I don't know the exact points.
My heavy intercessors are going to need some healing. We have Company Ancients, Primaris Ancients, Blade Guard Ancient, same thing.
This is what I wanted to bring up. Why would you bring... This has always been kind of for me too, because the Apothecary... Including Detachment 1, Command Squad Apothecary can be... Okay, that's Company Veterans, yeah. But why would you bring... Oh, they're about the same cost. An Apothecary to a Primaris Apothecary. Because I thought the power was like way different. But it's not. Maybe it's not. Because I always like...
okay, well the Primaris Apothecary has the better pistol. He has the Absolver Bolt pistol,
sure,
strength 5, -1, 2 damage. He also has a Reductor pistol, which is strength 4, -4, 2 damage. That's only 3 inch range though. So it's meant to be used in combat basically. The other guy has a regular pistol and a chainsword.
It's true, but it's not like you're going to be using it to fight too much. Where's the Primaris Apothecary on here?
Primaris Apothecary has more wounds.
He's 5 more. Okay, you know what? For 5 points, you get 1 more wound and better war gear, and 1 more attack.
Good. I'll take them. I have some regular Apothecaries. I rarely use them. I'll buy some Primaris ones now.
Right. Yeah. So you use the old Apothecary for 75 points or Primaris for 80. It used to be a bigger point discrepancy, is what I'm saying.
You know what I just realized? Remember what I said about Dark Angels and Sternguard Veterans? I understand now. We'll get to it.
Okay, good. we're at the Ancients now, which are fundamentally the same.
Yeah, they're just Ancients.
So it's still the banner still works the same way, where you can on a 4-up you shoot your weapon or you get 1 melee attack. But you can upgrade your Ancient to be like is it Company Ancient?
A Chapter Ancient.
Chapter Ancient, and then they can take a relic banner that makes it so you can do 2 melee attacks.
Yeah.
Which is maybe cool. Yeah. I don't know. It still reminds me. It still makes me feel bad about that one game Steve cheated with the Blade Guard.
Buddy, the thing is, we both knew that too.
Oh, there's also the Repulsor Executioner in the background of the art here, and I meant to do a shout out earlier on to the artists of these codexes.
They're beautiful.
Just Warhammer 40K, because I don't think they get enough credit. You guys are friggin' amazing. Like, the art in these codexes is outstanding.
I think these are far and away the best books they've ever put out.
Yeah, the layout everything is like so good. Buy this book.
The last set of books, the layout, I can't use the words I want to describe on the videos here because they were horrible. I have terrible things to say about them. They were frustratingly bad.
It was the dark time.
I like this book.
I love everything about it.
It's beautiful.
Page reference numbers everywhere. The layout makes sense. The points are amazing.
Wow. The points is like it's a whole other world the way the simple fix on that one.
So why do you think the Blade Guard Ancient carries around the little weird metallic hand?
Why is the Blade Guard Ancient
so much better than
so much
the Ancient?
smaller than the rest of the models?
He's also missing like a shoulder pad or whatever too.
No, that's
Is that the Judiciary? Yeah.
Okay, so next one, which is pretty interesting, that I don't know if people are going to love or hate this, but veteran intercessor squads.
Yes, that was the biggest elite one for sure. So the way it used to work, you buy your intercessors, you spend 1 command point or 2 command points based on the size of the intercessor squad. They became veteran intercessors. They would gain 1 more leadership, 1 more attack. That was it. But it cost 1 or 2 command points. And they were still troops, which was super powerful. Now, you actually buy them as an elite choice. You do not spend command points. You pay more points for it, actually. They're veterans. It makes sense. You get the same stuff you got before. I think the war gear is wild on here because of this. You're probably wondering, can you make your assault intercessors veterans? Yes, because the way their war gear works. They can swap out their bolt rifles for a heavy bolt pistol and a chainsword.
Yep.
So when you buy veteran intercessors, you take your assault intercessor kit or your intercessor kit, and then you play them as veteran intercessors.
You know what? It's functionally the same as it was before.
100%, you just pay more points for it, but it is a nerf.
Hold on, is it?
Because they're not OBSEC.
Ooh, there's the only one. Yeah. Because before you spend command points to make them, now you can just make your detachment a Vanguard.
Right.
And then it'd be the same command points. So you don't have to bring the troops. You have to bring 3 elites.
Oh, that's true.
So it would have been a wash. But you're right. You're right about the.
There's no objective secured on them.
Don't they get it somehow?
What do you mean? Don't they get objective secured? No, they get the Wolfguard keyword if they're Space Wolves.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, there's a hit. Blade Guard veteran squads. I don't think anybody expected this. You go up to 5. You go up to 6 models basically.
What do you mean you don't expect that? You don't expect going up to 6?
Everything I was reading was like, no, they're gonna stay at 3 models per squad.
Aggressors can go up to 6. Aggressors are like super.
You know how good these things are?
They're awesome. I understand that. They're really cool. They got a 2-up save, a 4-up invulnerable save. Their power swords are awesome. They get, I think, can they all have Neo-Volkite pistols or just the Sergeant?
I think just the Sergeant.
Just the Sergeant can have a Neo-Volkite pistol, which is, or a plasma pistol. I prefer the plasma pistol.
Same.
But I love any shout out to the Heresy, so Neo-Volkite's also a big win for me.
Blade Guard veterans, 6-man squads. I love it. I'm gonna put them in some repulsors or.
You can just run up the field and just like literally carve up the enemy's lines. That they have such good staying power.
Yeah,
3 wounds.
for sure.
It's weird because they're like a Turk. They're not in Gravis armor.
No, but they move 6.
But they have 3 wounds.
You have a 2-up save, 4 invuln, and a lot of close combat attacks. They have an 18-inch range pistol. They're going to go right up to the objective. They're going to clear your enemy off of it, and they're going to sit there and hold.
Right.
That's a 9th edition unit right there.
I think so. I think that is a great addition to any army, and a lot of you probably already have it because a lot of you probably got Indomitus. Company veterans or company veterans.
Now, well, hold on. That's the thing. That's what I missed. So this is how Dark Angels use veterans.
This is how Dark Angels use veterans?
Yeah, this is similar to how Dark Angels use our veterans. This is not Sternguard, these have company veterans.
Right.
So we can't take Sternguard as a Dark Angel, we use these ones. But everybody uses these ones.
Yeah.
They have the bodyguard thing. If a chapter character unit has 9 or less wounds and is within 3 of this unit, the enemy cannot target that character with range attacks. So even if he's closest, right?
Which I believe they used to have the ability on a 2-up, they would take a more wound to ignore a wound on that character.
Right, but yeah.
So what they're doing now, and it's the same for Lich Guard and Necrons, where they lost that ability and they simply cannot get shot at if the Lich Guard are nearby.
Yeah.
Which is fine. So that means they can't take wounds in close combat, which I always thought was a little weird anyways.
And they don't take up a slot if you have a captain. Cool.
Okay. Cool. I mean, you have 6 elites.
I mean, 2 wounds each, 2 attacks each.
Yeah, like all the old Marines go up to 2 wounds each, which is a nice.
Okay, Vanguard of veteran squads.
Can these guys be good?
Oh my.
Are they going to be good?
I think it was like 240 points for 10 of these with lightning claws.
Oh,
there's 240.
Are we talking like 1 lightning claw and a shield, or just lightning claws?
2 lightning claws.
2 claws,
okay.
eh?
So Vanguard veterans, like everything, we got 2 wounds. Beautiful. That's what they needed.
So they're 19 points a model.
They have Astartes chain swords. Amazing.
Yeah.
How much were the jump packs?
So they're 25 points a model with the double claw and 27 with a jump pack.
Okay, so 270 points for 10 of them.
Yeah.
You have 20 wounds. 2, 3.
Oh, that is 20
4,
wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 lightning claw attacks per round.
Fast, obviously.
Actually, did lightning claws change? I actually didn't check that one. So many things have been changed that every time I think of a
Oh,
new
I want to
thing,
see if lightning claws even give you the extra attack anymore.
I don't want to assume anything.
Melee weapons, lightning claw.
So while you're doing that, we'll talk about because they can take combat shields, like the champion. The combat shield gives you a 5 of invuln and +1 to your armor save.
Yeah.
You can have 20 wounds with a 2 of save and 5 of invuln. Now it's going to get more expensive. Wait, they can take combat shields, right?
I don't. Yeah, they can take combat shields, but like, I'm a little thrown off by this lightning claw thing. It's so. These are what we mentioned earlier, where there's like hundreds of changes in this book, so it's hard to gauge them all. But it does say under lightning claw, every time this bear fights with this weapon, make 1 additional attack with this weapon.
No, they take storm shields.
They take storm.
It's storm.
Huh.
It's 4 of invulnerable, 2 of save. How many points is the storm shield?
Oh, geez, let me go and find what a storm shield is. Vanguard veteran, which is right there. They take a storm shield for 4 points. So it makes them.
Okay, well, just a chainsword and storm shield would make them 240 points
Yeah.
for 40 wounds.
Because the chainswords. They
Sorry,
start with
20
chainsword.
wounds.
Yeah, they have Astartes chainswords. Astartes
2 up,
chainswords.
4 up, and a lot of AP1 attacks.
So if you have. Each time the bear fights.
Oh, Vanguard Veterans are sounding super scary right now.
Well, yeah, especially with the storm shield. I guess I always thought they took combat shields. I might be thinking of a different unit then.
Well, because they do look a little small, right? They're a smaller shape.
So yeah, okay. Lightning claws automatically give you 1 extra attack.
They're still strength user.
-2,
AP2.
1 damage, re-rolling.
Okay.
But it says each time the bear fights, makes 1 additional attack with this weapon. So if you have 2 of them, you actually get they're a little bit better. Because if you have 1, you get an extra attack. But if you have 2, you get 2.
No, I can't do it right.
It said each time. So if you have 2 lightning claws, every time you fight, you make 1 additional attack with this weapon. So the other one would also give you an extra attack. So lightning claws, if you have 1, you get an extra
Wait,
attack.
was it listed as paired lightning claws?
No,
or-
it's just lightning claw. Yeah. So lightning claws give you 2 extra attacks. I mean, I could be dumb and it might be going over my head, but if you look at the lightning claw thing there, it says each time the bear fights, it makes 1 additional attack with this weapon. So say you have 2 lightning claws, you put all of your attacks into 1 lightning claw, you would get an extra attack on that lightning claw, and then the other lightning claw would also give you an extra attack.
That's what it says.
Yeah.
Each time the bear fights, it makes 1 additional attack with this weapon.
Same thing with the chainsword.
Can you take 2 lightning claws?
Vanguard Veteran Squad. Where's the Vanguard Veteran Squad? Any number of models may replace their pistol or 1 storm shield.
Melee weapons. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Okay, how many points did I say? It was 270, 250?
Yeah. So what?
270.
All right, we're going a little off track here because like Steve was very excited for the Vanguard Veteran.
Every time I.
So if you guys want to skip ahead a bit, I don't blame you. But like yeah, so it's
3, 4.
they have
5 attacks on the charge.
3, 4, 5 attacks on the charge with Vanguard Veterans with pair of Lightning Claws. They're not as durable as Lightning Claw Storm Shield, but Lightning Claw Storm Shield now gives you the same amount of attacks as double Lightning Claw did before, but you also have the 4 pin bolt and a 2 of save with a 20 wound unit.
So I think I'm going to rip off all my Lady Claws on 1 arm, put a Storm Shield on.
But you also get an extra attack, so I mean it's
true. The 2 of 4 is going to clear off an objective and hold it. Okay,
yeah,
let's move on.
that
We can talk about them forever. Stern Guard Veterans, same what you would expect. They have a special issue bolt gun, which is 30-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 4, -2.
Yeah.
The Judiciar is a model that everybody should have in their army. Nothing to talk about there. Everyone knows all about that guy.
So it's 28 points. It's 280 points for the loadout you want to do on your Vanguard vets.
My God. Oh, here we go. Here we go. The reason why we all play Space Marines.
The Reavers. Yes, you're going to
The
talk about
Reavers.
Fine, you can talk about
Okay.
whatever you want.
Okay. They still have no AP, but that's fine. They're Reavers. We all take Reavers. Everybody uses Reavers all the time,
Why do
right?
they hate Reavers so much?
But they buffed and nerfed them?
How'd they buff
their
them?
Terror Troop is -2, your leadership's at -1.
Ooh, it's true. It's an aura.
I mean,
yeah.
but
there's always an aura before.
they took away their shock grenades.
Yeah, they actually lost their shock grenades, guys. But they got the keyword.
They were already crap.
They got the keyword shock grenades, so if you want to have the same effect,
It's now a stratagem.
you just simply go pay the command points for the stratagem.
This is the miss in the book for me. I don't know what happened here.
You don't get it? Yeah.
No, this is where they screwed up. Like these, did they sell so many Reavers that they don't need to sell any more Reavers? Like,
But they look so good with the knife and the bolt pistol.
this one hurts. I just want to move on.
Yeah, that was kind of...
Aggressors have taken 2 nerfs.
Now, the special issue bolt pistol, was it always AP2?
No, I think it was only AP1.
Oh, now it's AP2.
Yeah.
If
Okay,
If
let me
you take the bolt
rethink
pistol
that.
and combat knife,
But the combat knife doesn't even have AP. I mean, they need to at least have AP.
it should have AP. 100% agree. Combat knife should have AP.
If it had AP, you still wouldn't take them because the assault guys are just better.
Yeah, but these guys have cool grapnel launchers. Oh, they get the outflank
There's
ability.
no job that they do that something else in this book doesn't do better and probably cheaper.
Yeah, but Reavers do that thing with
Whatever.
the deep strike. That's still kind of cool. In 9th edition, come on, that's table
I'll just
control.
take
Vanguard
assault
Gunners.
marines.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, you know what? Enough making fun of the Reavers. Let's go to the aggressors.
Okay, 2 nerfs.
100% necessary.
Rightfully
though.
so.
Yeah.
So, they can no longer advance and ignore the penalty for firing assault weapons.
Do you remember how
Whatever.
many points they were before, though?
They're exactly the same. 45.
With the Fragstorm grenade launcher,
Yeah.
45 points a model.
Okay. They used to have a rule, or if they did not move, they shoot twice. That's gone. Good.
Yeah.
They are same point cost. They lost 2 of their special rules,
Yeah.
but they're still very good. 3 wounds, toughness 5, 3 attacks,
Move 5,
power
yeah.
fists. I mean, these guys got it all.
There's also a stratagem that affects them we'll talk about later, too, which
Oh,
helps
yeah,
them-
it's really, really good,
which
too.
helps them out quite a bit. Not just them, but Gravis armor in general. But I'm sorry if you were a big fan of your aggressors, specifically Salamander or Ultramarine ones. They, for the power they had before, they've hit the gutter. Comparatively
Well,
so.
the flamer, if you take the flamers, it's 12-inch range now.
That's true. Well, I mean, the Salamanders are still using the Boltstorm Gauntlet one.
Okay.
Yeah, because they used to always double fire, no matter what.
Oh, because Kev's not moving.
Yeah, so Ultramarines in the tactical.
No, but that was too impressive. That
was way too impressive.
That needed to be changed.
it was
let's be
way
honest
too
here.
good. Yeah, that had to go.
Okay,
yeah.
Terminators are next.
So these guys went up in points, but we don't care.
A minor amount. Actually, not that much.
Not that much. I've never cared how many points a Terminator costs. I will always bring
3
Terminator.
points a model.
Yeah, but they got an extra
3 wounds is what to say.
3 wounds. Yeah, I
3
think they went
wounds
up 2.
a model.
Did they go up 2 or 3 points? 30.
No, they went up more than. It's less than 200 points for 5.
Still less.
It's about 190, I think, for 5. And it used to be like 165. It went up a little bit, but it's worth it.
But yeah, you know what? We were talking about Lightning Claws earlier. Double Lightning Claw Terminators have 5 attacks each on the charge now, too.
No.
Well, it's a Lightning Claw. So it's the same thing. They have 2 attacks, 3 on the charge. Lightning Claws for 4. The other Lightning Claw gets an extra 1 for 5. Yep. Can you do...
Here's the thing. I think that's so good because all my Raven Guard are armed with Lightning Claws.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if...
Do you feel robbed that you... because you got buffed, technically?
No,
but
I feel like I got buffed, but like, I was thinking add to that. Like, we didn't mean that. If you have 2, you have an extra attack.
I don't know. It seems very clear there. Because there's nowhere does it mention paired Lightning Claws. Except for... it's like an asterisk.
Oh, you know what?
Asterisk under cat.
You know what? I guess, no, they would have to do it, right? Oh, no. No, I don't know. Okay, I gotta just not think about it.
And this is where you can see the Thunderhammer change. Everything's the same except it's only AP2 instead of AP3 for a while. Whatever reason, it's
Not paying the table.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. It's 10 points. It's 10 points instead of its previous cost, so whatever.
And if you're
24 characters.
Dark Angels, you gain a Deathwing keyword. If you're Space Wolves, you gain the Wolf Guard keyword.
Right. And then you have your generic Terminator squad, which is for like Space Wolves. They're literally just called Wolf Guard Terminators, and you build them however you want.
Relic Terminators are next. That's the Cataphractic Terminators.
Oh my gosh.
They just got nerfed.
Oh, I think they brought their points down to be the same as regular Terminators,
Sure.
though.
These have a 5 Binvol.
So Relic
And
Terminators.
they move 5. There's Terminators.
They pretty much made.
Oh, they have the Reaper autocannon.
Oh, that's what it was. I was so confused.
We were going through we're checking all the point costs
Right.
and the weapons at the back of the book. Like, Reaper autocannon?
What takes a
Who has
Reaper
autocannon?
autocannon? It's a Chaos autocannon. But the Reaper autocannon, this is some insight into what it's going to be for Chaos. It's AP2.
Yeah.
It's now AP2.
Heavy 4, strength 7, AP2.
So same as it was before, except it's AP2 instead of AP1. But it looks like Relic Terminators are just... So these are more like Wolfguard Terminators, where they can kind of build any kind of build they want to do, whereas like Terminator Assaults are only melee and regular Terminators are all shooting and like a Power Fist or whatever, but...
This is just a page with all the weapon options from the kit, from the Horse Heresy box set.
Yeah, literally.
Centurion Assault Squad.
They do not get
Centurions.
Bolter Discipline anymore, but they are they also didn't gain a wound. If people thought these guys were going to gain a wound, they did not. They were always 4 wounds before.
Right.
People thought, are they going to go up to 5? No. And they also lost Bolter Discipline, so
Yeah.
there's that. Does the Omniscope still work the same? Yep. Yeah.
Oh, they gave the Assault Watchers keyword, which matters for stratagems.
That's kind of cool. Yep.
Kind of cool. So we have the Invictor Tactical Warsuit. The Iron Hill Heavy Stubber is heavy 8.
Yep.
Anything else here that worth talking about?
Looks. They got concealed positions, explodes. It's fundamentally the same. It's about.
Oh, it explodes D3 now.
Yes, I always that drove me
just
nuts.
caught that.
Just caught that. Why did that explode D6 before? That had to be that was the dumb. That was the dumb. It drove me nuts because it always exploded near me.
Dreadnoughts, Venerable Dreadnoughts. Anything here? Same. What you expect?
The Venerable's 260.
What?
Sorry, what?
Duty Eternal on the Venerable.
Right.
Built in.
Yep. That's kind of wild, actually. No, all Dreadnoughts.
All Dreadnoughts?
All Dreadnoughts have Duty Eternal. How do we miss that? Contemptor, Dreadnought, Venerable Dreadnought. That's why, because Duty Eternal is not a stratagem anymore. It is just...
Subtract 1 of the damage characteristic?
Yes!
Whoa!
Dreadnought armies with tech marines!
No, Dreadnought went down a wound, though. There are only 7 wounds. Nope, that's toughness. 8 wounds. Ugh!
No, wait, that's toughness. Oh my god. That's so
Okay,
I love Dreadnoughts. I've always loved Dreadnoughts. Always loved them.
Same.
Oh, does that mean the Leviathan's going to have it built in too? Ironclad has got Duty Eternal. Redemptor's got
8.
Duty Eternal.
Does Redemptor have Duty Eternal? No, it does.
Yeah, the Redemptor's got it. Yeah. Because I'd always use Duty Eternal, no matter what. I'd always pop it. Thank you, GW. That is awesome. Did they get...
Here's the first time we're seeing the Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannon.
Heavy Onslaught.
So the Heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannon is strength 6 now instead of strength 5.
Right.
So gone are the days where you can take your Heavy Onslaught Cannon and your Onslaught Cannon and your Heavy Bolters and roll them all together. They all have different profiles.
Right.
All 3 have different profiles now.
And when it comes to the Contemptor Dreadnought, it's not the Relic Contemptor.
You just drop your microphone.
No, I dropped the little remote that turns the camera off and on. It was... it's just on my lap. I get excited and I move around. I'm so excited about the Dreadnought change.
I know.
When we got these books, I spent all my time poring over all of the Necron stuff. There was a lot to go over there, and Seed did all the Dreadnought stuff. Not the Dreadnought stuff, the Space Marine stuff. But his job was much harder because there's 98, 98 sheets here. So 6 up to ignore damage on the Venerable still. Everything kind of looks the same, war gear, except for under the Venerable, it gives you like the Blizzard Shield option for Space Wolves and all that stuff. And it feels a little awkward, I'm not going to lie, but...
I think that's it.
That's it for elites. Yeah, we can go on to
A lot of elites. Fast is next.
Fast
Fast I can't even speak. Fast attack is next. Plus 0 into assault. Squads.
Yeah, assault squads, first fast attack choice here.
We got cheap jump troops. Not that cheap, but cheaper.
The big eviscerator nerf.
Is it? Yeah, well, it might be.
Well, it used to make him strength 8, and now it's just strength plus 3 to make him strength 7. It's like, no, we don't want these guys strength 8. They need to be strength 7.
Yeah, the eviscerator is plus 3 strength, minus 4 2 damage.
Yeah, so it used to be strength times 2.
But we have got 2 wounds. We have Astarius chain swords.
And combat shield.
These are the guys that take combat shields if they want.
I would 100%. What do they swap over the combat shield, by the way? Probably the pistol.
Where do I see that?
Is it only
only the sergeant can take combat shield.
The sergeant can take the combat shield, yeah. Okay, well, that's not that exciting.
Either way, they have a roll now with their AP and their attacks.
Yeah. Now, they're super good. Yeah, these guys are actually something you'd bring to your game. Would you take the Flamer? Flamer's better now. Yeah, sure. Maybe you take a Flamer. I don't care. Like,
oh, yeah. Actually, well, I use mine with all plasma pistols. Plasma on the sergeant, plasma on 2 guys, and now they'll have chain swords, power sword on the sergeant. They're not cheap anymore. Like, not super cheap, but they get a job done.
That's a respectable loadout.
2 wounds apiece is kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I do love seeing the... When it's the cheapest option is always the best option, I hate seeing that. And it might still be, but if you're going to load out these Assault Marines, they're not 1 wound anymore. They're not going to be like, okay, I got 2 plasma guns, I got my sergeant and all that, and I just died to like intercessors firing at me or whatever. Because I only have 1 wound each. Now they have 2 wounds each. A lot of value in that unit.
You're paying more, but you're getting more.
Yeah, exactly.
And next we got Outrider squads, and this is the one I was hoping...
See, I thought they were both going to go up to 6. Outriders are capped at 3.
You got a bunch of Outriders.
Right.
You're only ever using 9 in the game.
There may have been an article that Games Workshop released saying something like, you're going to be able to bring 9 of these to a game. And maybe some people interpret it as you can bring 9 in a unit, so therefore 27 in the game. I'm not too sure, but it's...
They're relatively unchanged. You get Ravenwing keyword if you're Dark Angels.
Yeah.
But
they're fundamentally
they're still good. They're still very good. I wish they could be 6. But they're
I'm happy they're only 3, because these guys are scary and oppressive.
Okay, all right. Invader ET.
I was gonna say T5, 4 wounds, like 30-inch gun, like crazy. They're crazy good Scott.
Was like 5 attacks in the charge.
That's right. They have devastating charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get 2 for shock assault instead of 1.
Vader ATV, you have 1 to 3 of them in the squad. They're move 14, at times 5, they have 8 wounds. 3 have save. Multi-Milta, here's the first time we're seeing a change to that. It is heavy 2 now.
Yep.
If you're within half range, you take d6 plus 2 damage instead of rolling 2 dice.
Yep. Way better. Way better.
Or Onslaught Gatling Cannon, which is heavy 8.
And strength. Oh wait, what's the one that went up to strength 6? You said something went up to strength 6.
The heavy Onslaught Gatling Cannon is strength 6. The Onslaught Gatling Cannon is just heavy 8.
Right.
I got 2 more shots, but
that's nice. Turbo boosting, Raven Wing explodes. Yeah, it's literally just a fast-moving, weird ATV thing.
Bikes are bikes.
Yeah, they got an extra wound. They got 3 wounds each now.
Scout bikes only have 1 wound because scouts didn't gain. Oh yeah, we mentioned that scouts did not gain an extra wound.
Yeah, scouts didn't gain a wound. I don't think anyone's surprised their scout bikes did not, but bike squads did gain an extra wound. They're up to 3 wounds each now.
They have. Oh yeah. Well, okay. Scout stuff.
And then it's just like Swift Claws or Raven Wing and all that stuff for them too.
Bikes.
I guess there's not a whole lot of changes.
Not a whole lot in that fast. Well, there's a bunch coming up, but
did attack bikes go up a wound? Up to 4? Are they 3 or 4?
No, cat bikes the same amount of wounds.
They're always 4, right?
They were 4. Yep.
Oh wow.
I don't know why actually, but yeah, interesting. They probably went up, but that made them too good. But they need the multi-melta, so they're cheap. They're pretty good.
Yep.
Suppressor squads gained an extra shot on their accelerated autokin. It's heavy 3 now.
I think the bike squads. Could you always bring 9 bikes before?
Okay, don't quote me on this. I think Space Marines could always take them up to 10. Dark Angels were capped at 8 bikers and an attack bike, but then I think in 8th edition they were allowed to take the 10-man squad as well. So like previously they were capped at 8.
Your bike squads can only go up to 9, and that includes an attack bike. If you don't have an attack bike, it's only an 8-man squad.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so
okay.
you can have 1 sergeant and up to 7 Space Marine bikers. Just a little random info. And then attack bikes can go up to 3 if you want to bring only attack bikes.
The Scepters is the same, still amazing.
Are suppressors the same? No, they got
an extra attack.
Yeah, the accelerated autocannon got an extra attack, yep.
And then we have a bunch of new vehicles. We have the Hail Strike Speeder, the Thunder Strike Speeder, and the Hammer Strike Speeder.
Right, I forgot about all these Primaris speeders. Then we get the Land Speeder.
I dig the Land Speeder. I actually think I need to buy some of them now.
Do you not have any?
See, the Land Speeder got turned into... Okay, so Land Speeder, you take a bunch of weapon options. Now it's different. A Land Speeder has a heavy bolter or multi-melta, and that's it. And then you have the Land Speeder Tornadoes, which have an underslung weapon as well. And then Land Speeder Typhoons, which will have missile launchers.
So it's pretty much
different ones.
The Typhoon has all 3 weapons.
No.
Does it not have the under? Does
No,
the Typhoon?
Typhoon does not have an underslung.
Oh,
it's heavy bolter, multi-melta,
gotcha.
and then missile launchers.
Okay.
And Tornado has heavy bolter, multi-melta, or heavy flamer, and then heavy flamer allocated on the bottom. But the basic Land Speeder, which is heavy bolter, he has the data link telemetry rule. If you target a unit within 18 of them with a whirlwind,
it's only that one.
You add 1 hit. It's only that one.
So,
but he's only 60 points. 60 points for a fast attack choice that will help your whirlwinds, which I think you need now.
I was going to say, which I was going to follow up with that same statement.
We'll get to that. But there's 60 points for going out and grabbing objectives with toughness 6, 6 wounds, with 3 up save. Like, that's a bargain. I think I want 3 on my list.
Right. So when looking at these all these new Primaris speeders, they all have 10 wounds, which means they can bracket.
Which also means they give Lookout Sir.
Which means they do give Lookout Sir as well. That's correct.
Where the other speeders don't.
Yeah, the little Land Speeders do not give Lookout Sir. They do not have the required amount of wounds on their characteristic. They move a little bit slower than Land Speeders. They move 16. Everything else kind of...
Oh yeah, Land Speeders are up to 18.
Yeah, Land Speeders go up to 18. Well, it used to be 16 and then 20 if you had 3 of them. I don't think they have the 20 anymore. They're just 18. But you can bring them up to 3-man squad, so you can have the 3 heavy bolters, and don't forget the 3
The old ones, not the new ones.
The old ones, yeah. Don't forget the heavy bolters are a lot better. Now, I don't really know much about these Land Speeders. They don't have any rules. They just have cool weapon loadouts. There's a Hail Strike, a Thunder Strike, and a Hammer Strike.
They're pretty expensive.
Yeah, they look like they're about 200 points almost.
Even the new tanks, all the Gladius, whatever they're called, they're pretty expensive.
It looks like the Hail Strike's the cheapest at about 160, and then the other ones are about 180 each.
Yeah, I mean, that's not terrible. But it's not screaming, go out and buy.
Yeah, they have 2, like the Hammer Strike's got 2 cracks from grenade launchers, a Melta Destroyer, which is heavy 3 instead of heavy 2.
The Thunder Strike here, oh sorry.
I was going to say, and then it's got the Hammer Strike missile launchers on the back, which are heavy 2, strength 8, minus 3 damage. There's a ton of heavy weapons on that bad boy. The Hammer Strike's got like a good amount of firepower, but it's also pretty expensive.
The Thunder Strike has the and Icarus weapons. The first time we're seeing that right now. All the Icarus weapons used to be +1 to hit fly and -1 to hit anything else.
That didn't have
They
fly.
got rid of that.
There's a +1 hit fly now. That's
No,
it.
that's not true.
Oh, it's only aircraft.
They now have +1 hit aircraft and no -1 to hit. That's way better.
Right. So, okay, it's very clear that this is meant for anti-AA. Right?
But no, it works as a normal weapon against everything else.
Right. It's still good against everything else, but it's
just a bonus against aircraft.
It's a bonus against aircraft.
They functionally ignore the -1. That's it for fast attack. I mean, do you want to say anything more? I don't have a big opinion on these because they're not cheap, not expensive.
All these
only toughness 6 with 3-up save.
All these storm speeders, all they do is they specialize in one different thing, right? The hail strikes, anti-infantry.
No, they're cool looking
vehicles. Yeah. And like the thunder strike's kind of like whatever you want it to be good against, and it is good against aircrafts as well. They're kind of cool looking. I've never been a fan of land speeders. Other than, I do like the tornado. I've always thought the tornado is kind of cool.
Yeah,
in this case, the tornado,
Oh, no, sorry, tornado. I have typhoons.
Yeah, I just like, I always, because when the Iron Hands came out, they were specifically really good with Iron Hands because they would go off on their own, they'd reroll their own once to hit, and they'd have a bunch of shots, and they were super easy to kill, but they were like 70 points or something. It was like, it didn't even care
Now
about
I would rip off that bottom gun and use it as a regular land speeder and go
and then pair it with the whirlwind. Yeah, you could just magnetize it back on if you really wanted to go back with the tornadoes.
Let's look at heavy support, our last section of these data slates. Oh, did I say heavy support was the end of it? No, there's still more sections.
Right.
Hellblasters, basically the same, except for plasmas now, unmodified ones you die. Eliminators, covering fire rule where you basically, if the sergeant doesn't shoot, okay. When you equip the instigator bolt carbine, the squad can move afterwards. You can pop out, shoot, and then move. I don't know if that's really that good. They lost the shot that they could fire out of line of sight.
Right, they lost the one round, so they only have.
I have a thing about the eliminator. I can't quite. I don't
figure out what they do. Right?
They don't.
I thought you were in love with them at first.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
But they're good at.
They don't do anything.
They don't do anything.
They don't do
but
anything.
They're cheap. Yeah,
they are.
Yeah.
They are cheap. I just find like they don't. I agree. They do not do anything. Like the Las Fusel is kind of cool, but I feel like it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
The Centurion
I don't think they're
Devastators
terrible.
Are pretty much the same as the Assault Devastators. Except they don't
benefit from.
Yeah, they don't benefit from the bolter discipline, and they still have their 4 wounds. Omniscope's still there, and they ignore moving and firing heavy, which they always did before.
So the Eradicator squad can upgrade one of the things to a Melta rifle, which is heavy 1. The same stats, except for its +2 damage and the +4 damage in half range.
Yes.
I think I would rather not have that +2 and not have the -1 hit. I have to move.
You'd rather
have all regular Melta rifles.
And they can go up to 6. They can go to a 6-man squad as well.
Oh, nice! Ooh, scary.
So you can have 18 of them in a game.
Devastator squads, in my opinion, got a lot better because you have more ablative wounds if you want to buy extra bodies.
Yep,
2 damage each.
And they're 2 damage each. And if you buy those regular Space Marines, like they are actually going to be super hard to get out of cover. They're going to have you have 4 extra Marines in there. There are 8 extra ablative wounds. Probably worth buying.
Just basic stuff here. The Fire Strike servo turrets, the argument is shown off. I don't like the models. So I have nothing good to say about them.
And they have twin accelerated autocannons, or they can take twin las talons, which are just shorter range.
Yeah, nothing here worth pausing. Now I wanted to talk about the Hunter very briefly. He's too expensive. He's like 115 points, 125 points.
One shot.
One shot, strength 9, AP 3, D6 damage.
And he gets +2 to hit against
aircraft. And against aircraft is D6 +6 damage. It's still one shot. You never you're never gonna.
It could one-shot some aircraft if you roll.
Yeah, but you want to bring it.
Not at all. No.
You have to know your opponent's bringing an aircraft.
There's no way I like this.
Now
guy.
the Stalker might see some table use.
Right.
It has 2 Icarus Storm Cannons, which are heavy 3, strength 7, -1, 2 damage. But when targeting aircraft, it's +1 to hit and make 2 attack rolls per attack.
It's got 12 autocannon shots against aircraft.
It's 115-ish points for 6, strength 7, -1, 2 damage shots on a toughness 8 platform with 11 wounds.
And you get +1 to hit.
And if you fire against aircraft, it's twice as many shots and +1 to hit. You might see this on the table now.
And then we have the Whirlwind up
next. The Whirlwind is, okay, it's the same. We're going to skip over it. There's a Whirlwind stratagem I think is amazing. Amazing.
And then we have the Predator Destructor and
same.
The Predator Annihilator, which are the same. The points are pretty okay on them. And then it comes to the new Gladiator variant vehicles, which are like the Primaris Predator equivalents, I suppose.
They're up there. They're pricey in points.
Oh, yeah, they are. They're over 200 points each.
But they have a lot of attacks.
Yes.
They have the smokescreen keyword, which works with stratagems. Okay, so the Lancer Laser Destroyer
gets +1 to hit.
So this is the Repulsor Executioner's main gun that everybody used. If it didn't move, If it moved
Less than
half or
half.
less, or less than half, it would fire twice.
So it's 4 shots.
Yes.
But now it doesn't have that anymore. We'll talk about that a little bit more maybe if we have to.
Oh yeah. Well, basically,
Yeah.
the equivalent optics that allowed it to fire twice turned into just +1 to hit.
Yeah, so it is a hit that sucks because the amount of damage that thing put out was too high.
Yeah.
It was ludicrous the amount of damage that thing put out. So that's a
But
good
but now it's moving its full speed now,
yes,
which
now
is
it's more
better in
mobile,
ninth.
because it's still transport.
And the
so,
Gladiator Lancer here has the same gun with the same.
so you could have this thing going around with like 3 aggressors or 3 Blade Guard veterans in it to defend it if anything gets too close. So something charges
Well, whole
it.
6, right? So I think Blade Guard Rushers were the full squad inside, wouldn't it?
Oh, I guess yeah. They don't take up. Yeah, they're not in Gravis armor.
Yeah.
I guess so. But the 3 variants here, you have the Lancer, which has got the big dumb laser gun.
I like the Reaper.
The Reaper's got the Tempest Bolter.
30-inch range, rapid fire 4, strength 4 -1. I think it's 2 of them. Two of them.
And then it's also got the heavy on. It's got twin
heavy onslaughts, 24 shots.
24.
It's a lot.
Strength 6
It's
shots.
a lot of DACA.
Yeah. And if you buy auto launchers, it's got the smoke screen.
But the Valiant has the new multi-meltas on it, 2 of them, so 4 multi-shots.
It's got a sponsored multi-melt.
And then
it's got
a twin Las Talon.
That
So it's
thing-
got 4 Las Cannon shots and 8 multi-melta shots.
He's also almost 300. He's like 250 points or something.
But he's up there in points. Now, these tanks are all toughness 8 with 12 wounds, so it's not bad.
Oh, they're toughness 8. That's
They're
pretty
all toughness 8.
big. Yeah, it's kind of wild. So they're actually more like more mobile Vindicators then. No, because they actually are like Vindicators. They move in 10 like a Vindicator, not like a Predator. Predators move 12. Toughness 8, 3 up save, about the same moves. Yeah, it's more like a Vindicator.
Funny that you mentioned Vindicators.
They're up next. They actually got their Siege Shield back.
For 10 points, you can buy a Siege Shield, which gives them +1 to its saves.
So it gets a 2 up save on a Vindicator. Toughness 8, 2 up save for 10 points?
I'll buy it.
You think so?
Well, I just painted my Vindicator Siege Shield, so I'm going to buy it now.
Yeah. Right. I don't know if much has changed about the Land Raider.
Land Raider.
It's got the twin heavy bolter, which is nice.
Was he always strength 8?
Probably.
Oh, strength 6. Yeah, Land Raider's a Land Raider. A Crusader's a Crusader.
Yeah, we got the Crusader.
Redeemer's a Redeemer. 12-inch range on the
flamers
Flamestorm.
went up. Yep. Repulsor and Repulsor Executioner. Well, the Repulsor lost the -2 to charge it.
Right, okay, so the Repulsor and the Repulsor Executioner, and I think the Impulsor too, now that I think about it,
Repulsor Field.
no longer have their Repulsor field where you charge it as -2.
Right. It's a keyword now,
It's a keyword and there's a stratagem.
which means it's a stratagem now. Yep.
We'll get into that. But it also has the smoke screen keyword, which is one of the guns on the Repulsor I always upgrade to the Frag Assault Launcher.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it as auto
launchers.
launchers now for stratagem. We'll get to
Which
in
is
a bit.
auto launchers were worthless before. No one ever took them. Now they found a way to make them good. Rhinos. I gotta say my piece on this one. Oh, it's dedicated transports.
No, we'll just do it.
Yeah, we're gonna go right into
ahead.
it because like dedicated transports are dedicated transports, I guess, right? So
This would make Luka sad.
and they went up in points too. They really are just throwing me in the dirt. This is like the one rule I never forgot. Rhino repair.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
They got rid of Rhino repair. I don't even want to play like Marines anymore. I just don't I can't figure out how I could even justify playing Marines. They got rid of Rhino repair on my Rhino. I would never forget you. I'm gonna every time I'm gonna roll it and be like, my Rhino would have healed the wound there if I had my Rhino repair still.
The Impulsor we talked about, I think it did have the -2 to charge, right? The Repulsor?
You used it way more than I did because I used it 0.
Drop pod's a drop pod.
Drop pod went down in points, I think. 70 instead of like 73 or whatever it was. Land Speeder Storm was actually a transport for scouts.
I don't know. I don't think it'd be killed.
I don't think anyone really cared to use that one too
Same.
much. I'm sorry if you did. Stormhawk Interceptor, we're going to the Flyers.
These aircraft, not a lot of changes except for the weapon changes I'm seeing.
Yeah, a couple of nice fundamental changes here. The Interceptor is even better against aircraft.
Yeah, it has an aircraft storm cannon, so it's heavy 3, but against aircraft it's
That's the same gun as
6
the,
shots.
Same gun
plus
as
one hit.
the tank, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Skyhammer missile is no longer much. It's just +1 hit against the aircraft. It's good.
Right.
It has the Infernum Halo launcher. It just added 1 to its save, so it's a 2-up save.
Right, and it's still toughness 7, which is a little bit more durable than aircraft.
Against other aircraft attacking it.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little more defensive against other aircraft. Now, the Storm Talon actually took a hit. It lost strafing run. I thought that was... They now ignore moving, firing heavy weapons, but they used to... So I understand why they lost it, because it was to counteract the fact that they didn't ignore moving, firing heavy weapons.
So it's functionally it's a buff then.
Right.
Well, from 8th edition.
Yes.
It's a buff from 8th edition, not the previous book.
So they were designed to always hit on 3s, Was as long as you're shooting things on the ground.
Right.
Now they're just back to doing that.
Hitting on 3s, yep.
Yeah. But there's that small pocket there at the beginning of 9th where they're hitting on 2s.
I'm not seeing anything interesting in the Storm Raven.
No, Storm Raven kind of looks the same.
Yep.
And then we had the newest...
Hammerfall Bunker.
Yes, the last thing to talk about, the 98.
I don't know if I care.
Okay, so it's got weird rules. It's defensive array in your shooting phase each time this model is selected to shoot. It's Hammerfall Heavy Bolter, or its Heavy Flamer array can target and resolve attacks against every eligible enemy unit. Each time this model fires Overwatch, it only resolves attacks with this weapon against the charging unit. But when doing so, it turns to Heavy 6 or Heavy 2d6. Does this thing Deep Strike? No, it doesn't. It's just you just set it up. So it's pretty much saying it always shoots in all directions all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
So, okay, it's tough to say with 14 wounds, 175 points. Every unit that it can draw line of sight to will get shot by either a Heavy Flamer or a Heavy Bolter.
Right.
And it also has a Hammerfall missile launcher. Heavy 2d6, strength 6, AP nothing.
It's only Heavy D6. Oh wait, no, you're right.
Heavy 2d6.
I'm looking at the Heavy Flamer. My bad.
And the other one is, the other missile that can fire is 72 inch range, Heavy 2, strength 10 minus 2.
Would you ever buy the
D6.
Flamer on this thing?
I think it comes with both.
No, you shoot. Wait, equipped with Heavy Bolter. It could replace with Heavy Flamers if you want.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
No, there's no way. There's like this thing goes like in your territory, and it's just like.
No, I would never buy the Flamers.
I don't think I would ever buy Flamers on this book. It's kind of cool. It's got the option. The idea of having Flamers is kind of nice, but no, there's no way I'd buy
when
Flamers
it explodes, it is D6 mortal wounds. Yeah, I'm not wowed by it. Like it could be cool in like tables and terrain and
or like narrative games or whatever. This would be super cool in narrative games.
Yeah, for sure.
But like a match play game,
I don't see the value of it.
And that's all 98,
them.
guys. We did it.
We did it.
We weren't going to. We're sorry. We were going to cover the massive ones, but man, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm like mentally exhausted.
Okay, well, we still got stratagems to do, and then we got to talk about how this all comes together.
Yeah, so stratagems and bring it all together. So stratagems, you get access to them the same way you would have before, as long as you have a detachment in your army that is like a patrol, a brigade, a battalion, or one of the like Vanguard, Outrider, Spearhead. You get access to these stratagems. So you could like play Guard and Space Marines and have access to these, and it worked fundamentally the same way before.
The stratagems to me were like some were up here, some were down here.
And
what they did is they kind of did this.
Yeah. So now all of your stratagems seem to be in the meh, kind of okay area.
Well, not meh. It's not going to wow you. A couple do though. A couple do. Right. A couple I think you're seeing play a lot.
Only because of the situation though. And they've also color coded them as well.
Which was frustrating.
You have battle tactic stratagems, epic deed stratagems, requisitions, strategic ploys, war gear, and I think that's it.
Okay, so like the war gear one is like if it's using melta bombs or Oscar scans, it's easy. I understand that one.
Yeah, those are war gear. Those are things you've upgraded, like auto launchers and melta bombs. Those
requisition
are war gear
stratagems are before the game buy extra relics stuff like that. I get it.
That makes sense.
The epic deeds are usually character related in some way or
like
other.
big things, like vehicles doing something big, or like a dreadnought.
The last two are battle tactic stratagems and then strategic ploy stratagems. I don't see the difference in their categories.
I think,
but it's not a big deal.
It's not. It doesn't matter. It's not like there's rules that say use a strategic ploy there or battle tactic there. I think it's just battle tactics are typically things you're going to do offensively a lot all the time, and strategic plays might be more responsive based. That's not true in every situation, but I think that's what they're trying to get at.
Anybody knows the obvious answer. We're not seeing it, but it also doesn't matter.
Right.
Because the color coding doesn't mean nothing.
All it is to help you organize it better. It's like, oh, okay, where's that strategy that lets me upgrade my guys before the game begins? Well, it's these orange ones here.
That's red, bro.
Yeah, it's red, sorry. That was from the light angle. There's these red ones here, which I find weird because the Necrons are organized the same way, but the colors are different.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the battle tactic ones, for example, are like a neon green.
Oh, it's Necron color. Oh, mine are blue. Ultramarines.
Yeah, but then like my epic deeds are the same. The same color as yours. So like, I don't know, like whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, okay, it doesn't matter. It's just for organization.
Let's get to it.
Yeah,
we have Death to the Traitors, 1 command point. Death to Astartes units in your army expect to fight until the end of the phase. Each time a model unit makes a melee attack against a heretic Astartes, you can reroll the hit roll. Right. I mean, sure. It's not bad. I'm not a big fan of the stratagems that only target certain armies because typically it's harder to balance everything around that, right? When you have a big buff against one army, it doesn't seem that bad though.
And if you're curious how it changed, it used to be every time you rolled a 6 to hit, it was 1 additional hit.
Yeah.
against chaos.
Yeah.
So now it's
That's
just reroll the hit.
terrible.
This next one's Honor of the Chapter. This one took a nerf. Obviously, which I'm okay with because this brings it in line with all the other codexes. This is the one that used to let you fight twice for 3 command points. Now it is you get to fight twice for 2 command points, but only with assault intercessors.
Only assault intercessors.
And that won't work for, because I'm pretty sure veteran assault intercessors do not gain the veteran assault intercessor squad. So you can't have veteran assault intercessors
Rough.
and then do this. So this is only for your troop choice. And when I say it brings it in line with the other codexes, because for like Chaos Space Marines, you have to have that Mark of Khorne to fight twice. For Necrons, you'd have to be Novak to fight twice, right? And it's just like, this was the only book that said, oh, and it doesn't, we don't care anything. Your captain can fight twice or whatever. Like it
was good. It was real good.
It was a little too good.
Fury of the First for 1 command point. Use a stratagem in your shooting phase. Select a unit to shoot, or in the fight phase when they fight. Till the end of that phase, each time a turn raider model from that unit makes an attack, add 1 to the roll.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Worked the same way before. Next one, we have Transhuman Physiology, completely changed. See, Steve's a big fan of it because he's a big fan of Primaris.
Yes.
Now, the problem here is any old school Marine player is not going to like this change whatsoever. It is kind of forcing your head to go towards Primaris. It costs 1 command point if your squad is 5 or less, 2 command points if your squad is more than 5. And it does the same thing mechanically. You can only be wounded on a unmodified roll of 4, 5, or 6. 1, 2, or 3s always fail. Only works on Primaris now.
Now, I like Primaris.
100%, yeah.
I'm now going to use it more. It's only 1 command point. I'm going to get twice as many uses.
You're going to use it all the time.
I'm going to use it every turn.
Yeah. But it doesn't work on bikers anymore. It works on the Outriders. It works on Outriders, but not like Ravenwing bikers.
You have to have the Primaris keyword. Now,
yeah.
You can look at it this way.
Terminators?
You can't use it on the, you can use the Terminators, but my Dark Angel Terminator, well, okay, so the regular Marines can't use it, sure, but they all just gain an extra wound.
It's true.
So they're not bad.
That's
so
one
you
way
still
of
need
looking
to
at
use
it.
them.
Yeah.
Rapid fire for 2 command points. Use a stratagem at the end of your shooting phase. Select 1 intercessor squad or 1 veteran intercessor squad, and then you shoot again.
It used to be rapid fire 2 on your bolt rifles,
Right.
And now it is. But it's also same CP cost.
Well, because I think the bolt rifles are on Outriders now too, right? So,
yeah, it's true. So now this only works on them. Yeah.
Well, which it did before as well.
Yeah.
But now it is, yeah.
Yeah. We have Gene Might. It's works the exact same as it before. 1 CP until the end of your fight phase. Every time you roll a 6 to hit, it automatically moves the target. Works only for Primaris, which it did before.
Another one that I absolutely dig. Unyielding in the face of the foe. For 1 command point, only for Gravis armor units you can use the stratagem on. If they are hit with an attack that is damage characteristic of 1, you add 1 to your armor saving throw.
Yep. So that is, it gives your Gravis guys a 2-up save against 1 damage attack. It came up big in the game that we played because I'm obviously Necrons. I have a lot of high AP single damage attacks, so it was a good.
Well, having them at one point in our game, having them in cover, and I wasn't use the stratagem.
Right.
Ignoring some of your AP.
Right, because that doesn't give light cover just because +1 of your save, so that would stack with light cover or even hard cover. That is an excellent stratagem, a good boon to any Gravis army. And now that's it. Those are the battle tactic ones. So you can kind of see where we're coming from. Those are strategies you're probably going to use every turn. Transhuman every turn. Rapid fire every turn if you have the relevant unit, right? Unyielding in the face of the foe, probably use that every turn. That's, I think, what we're trying to get at with the battle tactics.
The rapid fire one, I would have rather seen it 1, 2 command points. 1 for 5 or less.
Yeah.
Because now it's like I don't want to use it on a 5-man squad.
I would never use that on a 5-man squad. I'd have to have a 10-man squad of veteran. If I'm going to bring veteran intercessors, I would probably use that every time.
Exactly.
Super powerful. That is like the amount of firepower that is nuts. We're on to our first epic deed, which is only in death does duty end. You guys are familiar with this one. It is 2 command points. When your character dies, it gets to immediately fight before you remove it. The big hit here, guys. You cannot use this if you've already fought. So before, the tactic would be, you take your Smash Captain, charge into a knight, hit it with the Thunder Hammer. I didn't kill it. Well, that's fine, because I'm probably going to die in return. I'm just going to only in death as duty end. Bam. Or if I don't die, I'm just going to fight twice. So a Smash Captain would typically always kill a knight because of the combination of stratagems there. Never again is it going to be able to do that.
This is turning your...
Smash Captains are going. Yeah. They've got to be going.
They have to go.
Yeah.
But it's also turning in your guy fighting you as attacking your command points, not your model.
Right, yeah.
Armor of Contempt, 1 command point. I believe it's the same.
It works exactly the same.
Yeah, but a vehicle takes a wound.
Mortal wound on a 5-up and ignores it.
Is it only mortal?
It's only ever been mortal wounds, yeah. And then for the rest of that phase, you have a 5-up.
I've never used it before. I probably never would again.
I've used it once in a very clutch moment that did surprisingly help me, but it almost never comes up. We have Power of the Machine Spirit, 2 command points. Use it in your command phase. You select one of your Machine Spirit keyworded vehicles from your army. Until the start of your next command phase, that model is considered to have its full wounds remaining for the purposes of determining what its characteristics
With
are.
what some of these dreadnoughts, all of these new tanks, all the hover tanks,
Yeah.
they all want to use this.
I believe they all have the Machine Spirit keyword. I assume.
Oh, actually, I didn't even check for that.
Repulsors have it, and so will Land Raiders.
Right. I wonder if
I don't know if the
the
new tank duties have it. Tank duties.
Let's do a quick check.
The layout of the book actually threw me off a little bit there because it's better than.
Nope, no machine spirit on them.
Okay, so it's only your repulsors and your Land Raiders.
I wonder if the flyer still has her.
Storm Raven should definitely have Power of the Machine Spirit. One thing to note here is the Space Marines lost Vengeance of the Machine Spirit, I believe it was called, where you could automatically blow your vehicles up. They don't have that anymore. I think it's just kind of been crunched into this one. There was actually a lot of stratagems taken away, actually, surprisingly. Are you not seeing the power?
No machine. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong flyer. That's why.
Storm Raven's got Machine Spirit.
Yeah, still got it. Okay. Next we got Wisdom of the Ancients, 1 command point. Use this stratagem in your command phase. Select 1 dreadnought from your army, excluding a Wolf or a Death Company dreadnought, which you can upgrade them. Till the start of your next command phase, that model gains either Rights of Battle or Tactical Precision.
Which is the captain or the lieutenant abilities.
Exactly.
Lieutenant, too.
Yeah.
This is good because it lasts for the whole battle round.
Yeah.
So before, you'd have to do this at the beginning of the shooting phase or the fight phase. Or sorry, at the beginning of a phase. I believe it technically was.
But it's or, not and. So that's
right. So now you can do it or. You would probably, I don't know, it all depends on the situation. But that is an awesome, I think that is a great stratagem. That is an amazing
I wonder
stratagem.
if dreadnoughts have core. I doubt it.
I don't
know why
I keep going the wrong way. I keep going the wrong way because I think the stratagems being behind. The stratagems are actually in front of all your
core.
Dreadnoughts are core. Okay,
Dreadnoughts are core.
That is something. Yeah, we meant to say a little bit earlier. Dreadnoughts are just all around super good now.
Oh,
they get the
dreadnoughts and Terminators, yo.
Yeah, and then commanding oratory is the next one for 2 command points. Epic deeds. Use it at the start of any of your phases. Select 1 chaplain from your army that has not recited a litany this turn. That model can recite 1 litany that has not already been recited by a friendly model this turn. That litany is automatically inspiring, do not roll, and takes effect until the start of your next command phase. So, this is big. 2 command points
to guarantee a litany.
This is big also for Terminator chaplains, because you can use this in any phase that is not your command phase. So you come.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
You come in from reserve in your movement phase, and then at the start of your shooting phase, whatever, you pen 2 command points commanding oratory. The Terminators I just showed up with are gonna be annihilating you, by the way.
Nice.
So Terminator Chaplain shows up, 10 Stormbolter Terminators right beside it, 2 command points, litany automatically goes off, have fun. That is an amazing.
Catechism of Fire.
Yeah, that is an amazing stratagem. Amazing stratagem.
All right, so Combat Revival for 1 command point.
Apothecaries.
Apothecary! So no longer you have to roll a die to 4+ to bring somebody back. If you fail, you do nothing. You just spend 1 command point and you pick an infantry or biker that is not at starting strength and within 3 of the Apothecary. One of the selected units destroyed models is returned with full wounds remaining.
Blade Guard Veteran come back with full wounds. Aggressor full wounds. There's probably other examples. Full wounds. Terminator full wounds.
Full wounds.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking Outriders and Gravis guys.
Yeah. That's for 1 CP. That is amazing. Compare that. Kind of bothers me, but I'm sure the Death Guard will get a better take. They have, I guess, all Chaos have access to it as long as they have the Mark and Urgle, but Death Guard have it too. It's Grandfather's Blessing.
But I mean,
you bring an infantry model back with only 1 wound.
So we're not done yet. We got a lot more to go through still. We have 2.5 pages still. But as you can see, they're doing this. Yeah. I want to use all of them. They're all usable.
Every single one of these is usable, 100%. Absolutely. There's before. I'm trying to think of the Space Marine. Well, I can't remember all the Space Marine ones. Where I'm like, I want to use that one only in that one. I gotta save all my command points for that one.
It's like when I play Chaos Space Marines, I'm only using it for veterans and Wailing Cacophony.
Yeah,
That's it. That's all you ever use them on. So because they're just so good that you're saving everything for it.
Oh, I guess you know what? You would always save your command points for Honor the Chapter and only Death is Duty End.
I don't know. I
playing Space Force always save my command points for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have 2 more that are red now. The Requisition Stratagems. It's Relic of the Chapter, Hero of the Chapter. We get those. Those are the Warlord traits and relics.
Now they did change a little bit. Whereas before, you can use it up to 3 times based on the points level you're playing in. So if you're playing at a Strike Force level, you can use it twice to get 2 relics. If you're playing at Onslaught, you can do it 3 times to get 3 relics.
Sure.
And the same is true for making characters warlords and giving them warlord traits. We have Hit and Run Warfare, which is the first strategic ploy stratagem for 1 command point. Use it in your movement phase. When a biker, land speeder, or storm speeder from your army falls back, it is eligible to shoot this turn, even though it fell back, at no penalty.
Yep.
It's nice. It's simple, super nice.
I'm using that. Next one, Hammer of Wrath. I'm not too sure on. I think it's great.
I like it.
But it might still be terrible. Well, okay.
Better than it was before.
1 command point. Use a stratagem in your charge phase. When a depth of the start, use a jump pack unit. It finishes the charge. Pick 1 engaged unit. Pick 1 enemy unit within engagement range. Roll a d6 for each model from the jump pack unit that is within engagement range of the enemy unit, and for each dice roll that equals or exceeds the enemy's toughness to do 1 mortal wound. You are now going to see mortal wounds. Now, where you really want to put the mortal wounds are high toughness things, it's not going to work on those.
Yeah.
But for assault squads,
right,
that you want to keep a minimum and just like roll a handful of dice, it's going to do. It's only 1 command point. You're going to use this.
Say they charge 5 assault guys charge 10 cultists. You might use it there because I'm not sure if my 5-man squad can take all 10 out one go. So here's probably 4 mortal wounds in addition to all the chainsword attacks I'm going to be getting. Right.
All right. Anything with a 2-up save, you want to just.
That's true. Yeah. Terminator.
There's tons of things. It's not amazing, but it's going to get used.
I think that would, and then you use that on Vanguard Vets with jump. Anything with a jump pack.
Yeah,
right?
anything jump pack. Well, the Inceptors have them as well, right?
That's true, and I think they already. Did they lose that rule?
They lost that.
Yeah, so we didn't mention that earlier, unless we did.
That's because nobody cares about that rule because it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, they used to do a mortal wound on a 4 when they charged. They don't do that anymore.
It's a 6.
What is this?
Every model is 6.
Even worse.
That's why.
Even worse. All right, the next one is Skilled Riders. This one is 1 command point for bikers, land speeders, and storm speeders. If they advance and your opponent shoots at them, you can spend 1 command point to make it -1 to hit them.
Yeah.
That's all right, sure.
Yep. Okay. Uncompromising fire for 2 command points, only an infantry unit. They can shoot without interrupting an action they're performing. It's expensive, but it might win you a game.
It could, because there's a lot of times where you're playing, especially an elite army, like Space Marines, and you're like, all I have near this objective is a 10-man squad of intercessors, and I need to do this action, but I can't justify losing 20 shots. Spend 2 command points, and then bam.
It's not an important stratagem until it is.
Exactly. That's why it's a strategic ploy. I think these are all non-important until they are.
Yeah, I really dig it.
We have Steady Advance, which is the same as it was before. It's use it for an infantry unit, and until the end of your movement phase, whenever they make a normal move, until the end of your turn, they count as not moving.
So 2 command points to probably devastate.
It used to be 1.
Ooh, really?
And this will help out a little bit too, because this also only used to work for the purpose of Bolt or Discipline.
That's true.
It only works for Bolt or Discipline purposes. So it's 2 command points now instead of 1, but it can work for Devastators and stuff, I suppose.
Excuse me.
It's actually not that great.
2 command points for Adaptive Strategy. Use a stratagem in your command phase if a chapter warlord is on the battlefield and the combat doctrine is active for your army. Select 1 chapter core unit from your army that is on the battlefield. Yep. Until the start of your next command phase, each model in that unit makes attack.
You can decide if they're in the Devastator, Tactical, or
That's
Assault
worded
Doctrine.
weirdly. But yeah, you decide Devastator Doctrine, Tactical Doctrine, and Assault Doctrine are considered to be active for the attack. Oh, all of them are. That's what they mean.
Oh, wow. Okay,
all of them are.
That's super cool. Wait.
Okay, that's why. Okay. So for 2 command points, 1 unit, you have to roll on the table. It's going to be a core unit. Ooh.
So you could...
A tactical squad
would get... so you get the bonus in shooting and fighting. So you get your rules in every...
Yeah, your heavy weapon, your rapid fire weapon, and you charge them in with your chainswords.
And you get extra AP on your chainswords. You get the bonus of every doctrine for 2 command points, though.
Wait a minute. What about the armies like Blood Angels where...
Yeah, they have access to this.
When they're in... White Scars. When they're Assault Doctrine, the 2 damage on their weapons, right?
Right, yeah.
Turn 1. I charge you turn 1. I'm in the Assault Doctrine.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you just have to use this in your command phase, so you have to know that before you charge.
I kind of glossed over this. That's pretty good.
That is really good. Yeah, I think for Space Wolves, right, if Wolfen typically get turn 1 charges, you could adapt to... Wolfen are probably going to be core. They might not be, but assuming they are core, you could do...
I'm going to bet they're not.
You don't think Wolfen are going to be core? Pretty much every unit's core in the gay army. Every unit that's
you're right. Yeah, no, they will be. Most of it, yeah.
Pretty much only single models aren't core, excluding dreadnoughts.
And vehicles.
Yeah, vehicles are also not core. Anything that's a single model is typically not core, as a rule of thumb. Always double check, but dreadnoughts are core. We have Suppression Fire next. This is for Whirlwind. This is the one we were talking about earlier. When it goes to shoot until the end of the phase, each time that model makes an attack with a weapon that has the blast ability, so it's main gun, if a hit is scored for that attack, then until the start of your next turn, the target cannot fire Overwatch or set to defend, and cannot be selected to fight until all eligible units from your army have done so. I would like it if that said that unit is not eligible to fight until all other
No,
things
so
are done.
there's going to be a bit of a debate about
Yep.
whether or not you can spend 2 command points for, what's it?
A counter-offensive.
Counter-offensive. No, my opinion is you probably can't.
Right.
I'm pretty sure you can't, but there's an argument.
Because the Judiciar,
Says you're not eligible to fight. so
right,
you
that one's
can't.
that one's an identical rule, but it specifically has different wording that says that unit you pick is not eligible to fight, whereas counteroffensive says you pick a unit that is eligible to fight.
So my opinion is this is going to stop you from counteroffensive. So basically, I want to charge 2 things. I'm going to suppress one with a whirlwind and fight first with this one, and then I'll fight with this one. Now,
Right.
they could have ratted it to clarify or whatever.
Right. I think that's going to need a clarification.
It's amazing though.
Right. If it works the way you think it would, it would be great. Sure, that would work really well.
2 command points for terror troops. Select 1 Reaver unit from your army. That unit gains you terror troop. I'm not doing this.
Okay, so it's a permanent. Is it permanent upgrade? Oh no. How long does this last? So you upgrade a Reaver squad, and they gain the terror troop ability. Oh, so no, it's only until your next command phase.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. So okay, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool because you take away objectives secured. The terror troops takes away objectives secured from enemy units, and then the other one is until the end of the turn. Each time that Reaver ends a normal move or advanced move within 3 inches of an enemy unit that is performing an action, roll 2d6. If the total exceeds their leadership, they stop performing that action.
Okay, here's the thing. I'll stop joking around. I'll be fair. That could be absolutely amazing.
That could be game winning.
Absolutely, it could win you the game.
that could be game winning.
It's just like
You have to bring Reavers to make it work.
My opponent's bringing Reavers. They have 1 roll now. I'm not choosing Raise the Banners. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. You know what? The next one is for Phobos units is Guerrilla Tactics. In your movement phase, when a Phobos unit from your army is more than 6 away from an enemy unit, if the mission you are playing uses strategic reserve rules, place that unit into strategic reserves.
Love it.
Which
Love it.
it's cool, but as of right now, we're pretty sure you still have to pay the command points to put that unit in strategic reserve. So you have to, in addition to Guerrilla Tactics, you have to pay the command points.
No, I think this pays it. I think this puts. Oh, I see your. That's interesting.
Yeah, because under strategic reserves, it says unless otherwise stated, you put your things in reserves at the beginning of the game, and then whenever you put a unit into reserves, you must pay command points.
I would say you pay for that one, but not for this one.
I don't know.
Because when you're paying to put them there.
Right. Because it's like it's like 2 sentences.
You know
right?
what? I'll wait for clarification on this.
I could be wrong.
It could be ruled either way. I see your point.
It's like 2 different sentences though. The first one's unless otherwise stated, you always put them into strategic reserves at the beginning of the game, and then next part is whenever you put a unit into strategic reserves, you must pay command points according to their power level. Is the next one got you?
Oh, I did it wrong.
Oh, did you cheat on Order of Bombardment? All right, let me read this. Order of Bombardment is 3 command points. You use it in your command phase if your warlord is on the battlefield. Was Strength
He was.
Warlord? Was he not on the battlefield?
Keep reading.
Okay. So your warlord has to be on the battlefield. Select 1 point on the battlefield and place a marker on that point. Yes, that's what I thought because I read something about the. I knew it. I didn't even bring it up. I don't even have to finish reading because I know exactly what it's going to say. There is a Necron Arcana you can buy that does the exact same thing. I have one.
Okay, I use this in the game in the vault, and it's amazing. It's only.
Okay, it's crap again. No,
it's not crap.
It's still good. It's still good.
It's not crap.
Okay, sorry, we got very excited there, folks.
I'm.
Orbital Bombardment. You pick a point on the battlefield, and let me just read it. Place a marker on the battlefield at the start of your next command phase, so your opponent has an entire turn to respond to it. Every unit, you roll 1d6 for each unit within 6 of the center of the marker, adding 1 if they're within 3 instead, and they take d3 mortal wounds on a 2-up, automatic if they're within 3. Or on a 6+, they take d6 mortal wounds, 5-up for d6 mortal wounds if they're within 3. Characters are -1 on that roll.
Yeah. So
I have a whole turn to respond.
I played in the game. I paid the 3 command points and immediately did it.
Right.
I'm like, this seems really. I'm gonna use this every game.
Right.
It seems really powerful.
I had done a sit and talk a long time ago, or a Codex review of the Space Marine book when the old one I have here when it came out in 8th edition. where they had, orbital bombardment still completely crap. And I'm like, if they made this so it was immediate and it was a better roll, like maybe a 3-up, this would be very good because then you would use it every game and your opponent would respect it. It'd be cool to respect orbital bombardment. And then they did it over here. I'm like, they made it too good though. A 2-up or automatic within 3. If you don't know about this and you clump your army up and everything's around 3 and like you just took like 18 mortal wounds because you were a nerd, right? Something like that.
Well, it's still going to get used. It's not going to get used every game.
It's way more tactical though, because if there's an objective in the middle of the table and you're kind of getting pushed back into your deployment zone of Space Marines, and they're coming from the middle, you can be like, okay, I'm going to orbitally bombard the middle of the table now. You have 1 turn to get away from that and alleviate some pressure from you. And if they don't, they just take a butt ton of mortal wounds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also you kind of like corral people into combat, stuff like that, hit the back end of them. There are ways to use it. It's just not as broken as the way I used it.
That's true. You could force them out of their deployment zone. Okay, that is way better because the Necron Cryptek Arcana is like a orb. They throw an orb at 24-inch range that does the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it kind of sits there and it like hovers and like explodes and does mortal wounds to everything nearby.
We're on to War Gear. Aspect Scan. It's the same. Yeah. It's 2 command points, except there's no longer a -1 penalty to hit.
Right.
So a buff, a huge buff.
It's huge buff, which is great. You're going to see it all the time. It is kind of scary. Its only restriction is being if something deploys within 12 inches of that unit still, which is fine, whatever. That's still really good because typically things are going to want to charge when they come in from reinforcements. It came up big in the game we played.
Yep, it was a big deal.
Next one we have Tremor Shells. This is for Thunderfire Cannons. You whenever it goes to fire until the end of the phase, you subtract 1 from its wound rolls, and if a hit is scored against a unit that is not Titanic and cannot fly, then until the start of your next movement phase, have the move characteristic of models in that unit and subtract 2 from advance and charge rolls. It used to be subtract half from everything. It was half move, half advance, half charge. That was incredibly oppressive. Now it is just -2.
If you want to use orbital bombardment, you probably want to bring one of these.
Yeah.
But then it's into 4 command points. But, you know. We got Shock and Awe next. If you're at the start of your Shock Grenades keyword, like you're a Reaver, or you have a Land Speed or Storm.
Apparently they have it.
Unit within 6. Till the start of your turn, the unit cannot fire Overwatch or set to defend, and each time a model is selected to make an attack, subtract 1 from the hit roll. So basically, Shock Grenades became a stratagem.
So you can that's pretty good for 1 CP. You can make a unit -1 to hit.
But that's what the Reavers did, and nobody brought them.
Yeah, but now you can do it on Land Speed or Storm. We had assault launchers, which is a massive bonus. This is one you're going to use all the time, and you're probably going to take assault launchers on your units. This is for a war gear upgrade. Again, like we said, this is a war gear upgrade you put on units, and if you have the assault launcher keyword, which repulsors and like all the other things have, use it at the start of your turn.
No, that's the Land Raider one.
Oh, this is the Land Raider one.
Yeah. Like
I'm thinking of the other one. These are assault launchers. Use a stratagem at the start of your charge phase. Select 1 assault launcher unit from your army and 1 enemy unit within 9. That enemy can either brace or duck for cover. If they brace, they take D3 mortal wounds. If they duck for cover, subtract 1 from hit rolls, and they can't Overwatch or set to defend. So it's kind of like pinning.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I think it's a pretty good stratagem.
I'm thinking the other one though, for sure.
Melta Bombs for 1 command point. So units that have Melta Bomb keyword are Tactical Marines, Assault Marines, and Vanguard Veterans. There might be more, but those are those that popped up. I know I checked. 1 command point for target enemy vehicle. It suffers 2 to 3 mortal wounds.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's like super good. That's like a great way to finish off a vehicle.
Yeah, it's in the fight phase.
Right. Yeah, but like that, all of a sudden your Tactical Marines.
1 command point, 2 to 3 mortal wounds.
Yeah, all your Assault Marines charge in. It's just like, when do you use it in the fight? You just use it anytime in the fight phase. Oh, when they're selected to fight. Okay. And he only attacks with the Melta Bomb. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, sure.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's super good. It's like guaranteed damage on a vehicle. If the vehicle's got like 3 wounds left, Melta Bomb. Boom, got it.
Grav Pulses next. So basically the repulsor field from the -2 charge is now a stratagem.
Yeah.
But it also allows you to fall back and still shoot.
Right, so it does one of 2 things. You use this stratagem if either one of these things work. If I'm charging you, it's -2 to my charge. Or in your movement phase, when you fall back, you can shoot with everything and without the penalty. And that is really powerful.
Hey, you know what? You can't fall back and shoot anymore, except for when you can.
Exactly.
So the strategy is fantastic.
I think that one should probably be costed at 2. I think
that's not a bad argument.
I think 1's a little cheap for that. This is like the one example of everything else seems really reasonable. As for what it does, like 2 command points, that's a good effect. That is a powerful
Now
effect.
I'm thinking orbital bombardment, because there's also once per game. It should only be 2.
I think 100% orbital bombardment should only be 2. Now with the realization
with the correct rules.
Yeah, it should only be 2. I think that's a little expensive. I think Grab Pulse is a little too cheap. We have Hellfire Shells. This is 1 CP. This works for an infantry unit that shoots with a heavy bolter or Hellstorm heavy bolter or an Executor heavy bolter, so a little bit more flexibility in that. You can only make one attack roll with this, but if it hit its score, it suffers D3 mortal wounds. Unless it's against a monster, only monster, then it's flat 3 mortal wounds.
Yep, not bad. Still pretty good.
Yep.
Flak Missile can only be used by infantry. I think that was always the case, but I'm not positive. It's the same. You add 1 to your hit roll, but it can only target aircraft. And it is 2 D3 mortal wounds now.
Yep, that's kind of cool. And you get +1 to your hit as well. So it used to be just D3 mortal wounds against aircraft. Well, it used to be D3 against fly, now it's 2 D3 against aircraft.
Correct.
I like Flak Missile a lot. I think that's really good.
Yep.
But you have to bring a missile launcher. So how many infantry? Scouts, right? Scouts were the only ones that really brought it before.
Tactical Marines, Devastators, you could bring 1.
I guess, yeah.
A missile launcher if you really want.
If I'm bringing tacticals, I would bring a missile launcher, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. The last one here, the last war gear stratagem is Smokescreen. This is for auto launchers. The things we were talking about earlier. This is on your repulsor and probably other things. It gives anything with a Smokescreen keyword, which you get by buying this upgrade. Use it in your opponent's shooting phase when a Smokescreen unit from your army is selected as the target of an attack. Until the end of that phase, each time an attack is made against that unit, -1 to hit. So good. Before, what you had to do...
1 command point.
Yeah. What you had to do before is you had to declare your your smoke launchers on your repulsor, then you'd give up all your shooting.
Right. It's way better.
You would never, ever use that. I'm going to swap that out for my... Now you're going to bring that every time. And then when you're declared as a shot, 1 CP, I'm -1 to hit now.
Yep.
Super powerful.
All day long.
That is such a good stratagem that they have access to.
So,
and that's it.
How do you feel? Stratagems, they like this?
Yes, 100%. Boom, like that, I think.
All right, there's one more thing we need to discuss.
Now, if you suffer through this whole thing, we are at the end. We're at the little last chapter of this. We're going to talk about...
It's all coming together.
Yeah.
We got to get the table now. We're going to play the game now.
Exactly. We are going to talk about chapter approved rules. These are secondary objectives that are only available to Space Marines. There are 3 of them. You're only allowed to take 1 of them. And they follow in the same categories that the secondary objectives in chapter approved and the core rulebook, such as Purge the Enemy, Battlefield Supremacy, No Mercy, No Respite, and like Shadow Tactics, all Shadow Operatives, all of those. So if you take one from Purge, if you take the one here from Purge the Enemy, you're not allowed to take the Purge the Enemy ones from the core rulebook or chapter approved. And you're not allowed to take all 3 of these. You can only take 1 of them. I've heard these are bad. I've read them. I don't know, but you played with them, so.
I played, and I remember the one that I played with. I really like it. I think I'm going to take it maybe all the time. The other 2 I don't remember, so I have to reread out to refresh myself. So there's a Purge the Enemy one called Codex Warfare. If you select this objective, you score victory points as follows. For 1 victory point at the end of the battle, to a maximum of 5, yeah, this is bad. For each enemy unit that was destroyed as a result from attack made by a heavy or grenade weapon by a Adeptus Astartes unit from your army while the Devastator Doctrine was active for your army. Not for your unit, for your army. So you have to kill, to get max points, 5 things in turn 1. Not going to happen. Score 1 victory point at the end of the battle to a maximum of 5 victory points for each enemy unit that was destroyed as a result from attack by rapid fire, or, you get it. You gotta kill 5 things in the Tactical Doctrine and then 5 things in the Assault Doctrine. This is not gonna happen. To get max points, this is a joke. This is terrible.
That's the most win more one I've ever seen. You have
exactly.
To for 50, you can score a maximum of 15 points on secondaries. Same rules apply to these ones. You have to kill 5 in the Devastator, 5 in the Tactical, and 5 in the Assault with the relevant weapons in those doctrines too. It's not like you in the Devastator Doctrine kill some of the bolt guns. That doesn't count towards this. You have to kill them with heavy or grenades.
I don't want to fix it. To make it like 2 points per kill, even still, you get at least 3 things.
I'd say 2 points per kill.
But you still got to kill 3 things per phase. Or per doctrine.
I mean, you might not get max, but
you're not going to get max in.
Yeah.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible.
That's super rough, yeah. And to give you an idea of what this replaces, this means you're not allowed to take Assassinate, Bring It Down, which a lot of people like to take.
Those are 2, if you're going to get those ones. Like, a lot of characters, I'm going to kill some of them. Or Bring It Down, I'm going to kill them.
Or Titan Slayers if you're playing against Knights. Slay the Warlord if you're playing Core. I don't think Slay the Warlord is available in chapter approved. The next one is Battlefield Supremacy. This will replace Engage on All Fronts. Mindbreaker or Domination. Those are all, I like Domination and Engage on All Fronts a lot. So you score 3 victory points at the end of the battle round if you control 1 or more objective markers that were controlled by your opponent at the start of the battle round. And an Adeptus Astartes unit from your army is within range of that objective marker. So this is not good because this means you're allowing your opponent to get objectives.
Yeah, for you to score, you have to let them have your objectives. It's not, again, this is, in my opinion, terrible.
This is actually a win-less one. If you're able to storm the field right away and take all the objectives or most of them, you have to actually give them up and let your opponent get points.
I don't know what they were thinking. This is a couple of huge misses.
Now, in some cases, if it's a pretty even fight, that's not a bad one.
No, we've actually had a game where I would have scored just like crazy.
Right.
But that game is so rare.
You'd have to get max points on this, you'd have to have this happen every battle round. Which game was that?
We were fighting on the road the whole game. Necrons
No,
versus...
that's going out on Monday, I believe. Yeah.
So this Monday, there's a game where this would have been useful. Not from my arm.
You're playing orcs. I was
playing orcs.
Yeah.
But like that situation is whatever. Now I do like this one. Now, no mercy, no respite. It's Oath of the it's no mercy, no respite category. Oath of the moment. You select this objective and you score victory points at the end of each battle round for achieving the following 3 oaths. Oath of Valor, score 1 victory point if any character, vehicle, or monster was destroyed by Adeptus Astartes in that battle round. So 1 victory point if I kill a monster character or vehicle.
That does not stack. So if you kill like multiple of them,
so I get 1.
You only get 1.
You score 1 victory point in the battle round so long as no Adeptus Astartes unit from your army has failed a morale test, and provided no Adeptus Astartes units from your army fell back.
Right.
So nobody falls back, nobody fails morale, 1 point for the battle round. Now, Angel's Death. Initial No Fear is nerfed, so you might...
It's a little bit harder to pull that off with that.
But it's not that big a deal. So you can probably get those 2.
Yep.
And then 2 more at the end of the battle round if an Adeptus Astartes unit from your army is wholly within 6 inches of the center of the battlefield for 2 points. So you can get 4 points around.
So you get max after 4 battle rounds of accomplishing all of these. But it's very flexible where you can get like 1 or 2 here, 1 or 2 there. It's not bad.
Here's why I like it. You need to control the center of the table anyway.
Yes, you do need to control the center of the table anyways. If you have the appropriate units, if you don't bring the appropriate army, and you should consider that when playing match play games because these are typically a lot more competitive, you can pull that one off. I don't think that one's bad.
What's in the category for them?
So you thin their ranks, which is garbage.
Yep.
No one takes that. Attrition, a lot of people typically take attrition. Well, like Space Marines will probably want to take attrition.
I'd rather this over attrition.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
For me.
While we stand, we fight. That's the one where you pick 3 of your highest models.
My point is the reason why I like this. I'm not saying this is great. Oh, you want to? This is it's the best of mediocre choices.
Yes,
for me, in my opinion.
I actually don't think this one's a bad choice at all.
Yeah, I like it.
This one is very flexible in the fact that like if it's not all or nothing, you're probably always gonna get 1 point a turn with this.
And in our game, I'm like, oh, should I fall back? I can get 1 point if I don't fall back. No, I want to shoot him. I'll sacrifice the point.
Yeah,
and I like making that decision.
I think that is not a bad rule, and that's pretty much it. Other than
all right, Luka, we got a lot to talk about. We'll try to keep it relatively brief.
This video has probably been like over 2 hours long already. It's already well into the time of the rest of the work we have to do today. So let's try and bring it all together. What we were kind of talking about in the beginning. What books are you allowed to use with this codex? That's the main one, right? So it doesn't say anywhere in here what you're allowed to use.
As of the time we're recording this
FAQ is not out, but it will be.
I think using this book with all the currently released supplements, you're going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, you should be fine, but there's going to be FAQs in there for like Shrike. His chapter master rule is probably going to say, it is obviously going to be eroded to core, and it's probably going to say pick 1 unit or a character, and then he might get the battle rights rule. Right to battle.
So there's potential chapter master changes.
Right.
Secondly, I want to say this again, just so we're clear. There might be an FAQ already. It is not at the time we're recording this.
Right.
You might clarify this next section.
Right, but the more important thing, like that one's easy, I think.
Yes. Luke and I.
Dark Angels, Space Wolves, or Blood Angels.
Yes. So
they don't have supplements.
If you want to bring a Dreadnought with the axe and shield, you can do it with this book.
Right.
So you can't use that War Scroll.
Right.
Can you use any War Scrolls in the Space Wolf book? Can I use...
Wolfen are not in here. So
you can't use Wolfen.
The question is...
Deathwing Knights.
Right.
Special Flyers. Special Vehicles.
Right.
Where do you stand?
I am of the opinion, and it's very complicated, and my opinion might not matter come a week, right?
Exactly.
That you would use if I was to play Space Wolves, I would use the data sheets from Codex Space Wolves, and I would use the rules from Saga of the Beast, and then anything in here that is newer and trumps those would be used here. So I would not use a Venerable Dreadnought from the Space Wolf Codex, I would use the Venerable Dreadnought from here. I would not use Transhuman Physiology from Saga of the Beast. I would use the Transhuman Physiology from here. I would use all the things that are updated from this 9th edition Space Marine Codex while still using the rules from Saga of the Beast and the Space Wolf Codex, and I would use the chapter tactic from this book as well.
Okay, so I don't think that's a necessarily wrong answer. I think everybody's got to figure out
It's complicated,
until
though.
it's
very complicated, though.
So how I'm going to go forward is, I'm going to say this basically invalidates my Dark Angels book.
Right.
I'm going to use, if I want to play Dark Angels, again, hopefully day when I think you right away. If I want to play Dark Angels, I'm going to use my Psychic Awakening in this book, and any units like the Black Knights and the Deathwing Knights, which only have 1 wound. I just won't use them for now.
That's a good example. Those guys would still only be 1 wound.
Right.
Wait, no, they'd be 2. They'd be 2 Deathwing Knights.
No, they wouldn't, because they're War Scroll. Oh, 2.
They're Terminators.
Not 3. Not 3. They would use 2 wounds, not 3.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
The Black Knights
agree
have
to
2
that.
wounds, not
Yes.
3.
And same thing. If I was to use Wolfen, I have no idea if they're going up to 3 wounds. I would play them as 2 wounds still. Or my Wolf. No, I guess I used the.
But your supplement's already been announced. We've seen it.
Right.
So that should be like Dark Angels. We haven't announced yet. It could be farther off. I have no idea what's happening. But I'm happy to wait. I think this is not a lot of changes, yet a ton of tiny changes.
Evidently,
they still play kind of the same. We've been playing this book for a while now in a roundabout way.
Right. They pretty much fundamentally play the exact same way, but you have to be so careful with how you use your units now, because there could be a rule change that you might not be aware of before. Yeah. And I do think that the army overall is weaker, 100%.
Weaker? Why do you say that?
Because the build, you're gonna have to build your armies completely different. Like your repulsor, like the game we were playing, he had a repulsor executioner, and it was just like, it was so much less valuable because it wasn't re-rolling anymore.
You know what?
Right.
I think
that was
better.
good. That was healthy. No, that's healthy.
I think it's better because, one, I could use Transhuman Physiology way more with my Raven Guard, and 2, I should have brought Tech Marine.
Right.
Didn't need that reroll 1s. Everything's on 2s.
That's true. I guess what I should say is you're going to be building your list so much different than you were before. You're going to have Tech Marines in it. You're going to have Apothecaries in it. It's going to look way better.
It's going to be a little bit more narrative.
Yes.
Without being like the captain sitting back. It's going to make a little more sense.
Your captains and your chapter masters are going to be leading from the front.
Yep.
You're going to have like lieutenants or lieutenants behind them a little bit. You're going to have your apothecaries in that line. You'll have your tech marines supporting your artillery in the back. Dreadnoughts or supporting dreadnoughts. Your Space Marine army is going to look and play like a Space Marine army should look and play. You're not going to have that parking lot will never ever exist again.
Probably not, but I would never say never.
Okay, I guess you could have multiple tech marines with multiple executioners. But like, you don't even need a tech marine for an executioner. And maybe a repulsor, but not the executioner, because it already gets +1 to hit with the top gun.
He does have a lot more shots.
It's true.
And if he's firing something with -1, they will counteract. But yeah, I think Tech Marines, Apothecaries, fantastic additions. I love the stratagems, but I love the stratagems because I don't love the stratagems. I love where the line is. If everything went that way, this is a healthier game.
I think, like, let's put it this way. If I had to put the Space Marines on a scale of like 1 to 10, I'd put them at a 10 before, or like a 9 even, or whatever.
In comparison to everything else.
And now I would just knock them down like 1 peg.
1 peg? Okay.
That's it, yeah.
I'll say...
or like half a peg even.
Their days in the limelight are kind of be like they're numbered now, right? Like
yeah.
We know. If you've been in this hobby for long enough, we know.
Well, the Codex
people will always be real. Like
no matter how much they try and deny it, it's impossible because they're always. It's not that they do it on purpose. They just come up with. They designed this book and like that was really cool, but I had come up with a cooler idea when writing this that I'm going to implement in the new book, and that cooler idea is unfortunately just better.
But you know what? In my opinion, even if they do it on purpose, which I think they maybe do, it's healthy for the game.
Always evolving.
Always evolve. Yeah. Always evolve.
Yeah, because otherwise, if this was the best book printed, then they'd just be on the top all the time.
You had Space Marine. We had a long time. Space Marine players had a long time where they were just almost unplayable, and then top of the meta.
That's where
this wheel should keep turning.
That's where the Legion lockdown came in because it was like literally no one's playing Space Marines, and then they weren't getting any representation on the channel, and Chaos Space Marines were equally as bad at the time. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just do and I also really want to play Horus Heresy, so I was like, let's do random Space Marine chapter versus random Chaos Space Marine Legion. And it was like, it didn't matter what we brought because it was all garbage. And you just had a blast of a game. And then this Codex came out. And then Doctrines came out. And then I couldn't do the Legion Lockdown anymore because Chaos was so bad.
Jeez. Well, okay. So just a reminder, if you haven't already watched it, there is a Necron, Codex Necron's review
It might
up
be coming
right
out a
now.
little bit later.
That's true. I'm not
can't-
sure what time this is scheduled for.
Right. I'm not too sure on the scheduling of that.
If it's not out now, it will be out.
Same day. It's coming out same day.
Yeah, within a couple hours.
Yeah.
So check out that. And another reminder, there is a game where we play new Space Marines against new Necrons in the MiniWarGaming Vault. Now, if you're not already a Vault member, you can click the link below in the description, get yourself a 7-day free trial, watch the video, and then if you really want to, you can cancel right away, leave the Vault, never come back. Just watch it for free, but I think you're going to get stuck in
There's going to
there.
be a lot of new Space Marine and Necron covers coming out shortly after all this anyways.
And actually, if you're in there, might as well check out the stores and all the discount coupons we offer in there
Yeah,
because you can upgrade to a Silver Vault membership and get some nice discounts. But that's that. We got to go take a quick break and do another one of these.
Yeah, 100%. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully use the timestamps well, and if you stuck through the whole thing, you're a trooper. See you guys
buddy.
next time.
Happy wargaming.
Happy wargaming.